Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel. I can see a load of you guys are already here, which is great to see. All you guys already in the live chat. Manchester City take on Chelsea again. 2 games in a row that we do live streams. So Manchester City versus Chelsea. City at home stay at the Etihad in the FA Cup to face Chelsea. And I've just drawn either Oxford or Arsenal the next round, which is not a good draw because obviously it's going to be Arsenal, the league leaders, isn't it, in the next round of the FA Cup. Pep Guardiola rotates things around today. It's not going to be a 4-3-3. I don't think it's going to be Sergio Gomez probably stepping into the midfield alongside Rodri like we've seen Rico Lewis do. But this is the 4-3-3 that is pretty much listed on the lineup. City start with their cup goalkeeper Stefan Ortega in goal. The back four of captain Kyle Walker, Manuel Akanji, Aymeric Laporte returns from injury, and Sergio Gomez. It is Rodri, Cole Palmer or Phil Foden in the middle. I've gone for Cole Palmer, I think, in there alongside Bernardo Silva, but don't be surprised if it is Foden in the middle and Palmer on the left. Those I'm pretty unsure about. Mahrez starts on the right, Foden or Palmer on the left. We'll say Foden for now. And then Julian Alvarez, the World Cup winner, a world champion in the City side. He is starting up top today ahead of Erling Haaland, who is on the bench. Do you want to see the Chelsea side as well? Let's have a look at the two sides alongside each other. Chelsea side is as follows. Kepa, who I think was poor for that Manchester City win, 1-0 a few days ago against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. He should have stopped the Jack Grealish cross. He didn't do. Kepa starts in goal. It's Humphries, a youngster, and Lewis Hall, the two youngsters in the fullback positions. Chalobah partners Kalidou Koulibaly in the defence. Midfield three of Mateo Kovacic, Jorginho and Conor Gallagher, who came on, put a few late tackles in but brought lots of energy to the Chelsea side in that defeat against City a few days ago. Hakim Ziyech starts on the right, Mount on the left, and Kai Havertz through the middle. Good to see we've got Isaac here, Jaden's here, MK's here, Adjin is here. Quite a few here. Great to see you're all here, and I hope you've all voted. 83% of you so far think Manchester City will win. Adjin's going for his 7-0 again. I think that is very ambitious. Jane says he's Phil Foden in midfield. Well, we're uncertain whether it's Foden in midfield or it's Palmer in midfield. Judging by the last few times City have played, Pep Guardiola seems to prefer Cole Palmer in there over Phil Foden, but I'd like to see Foden in there and Palmer on the left, but we'll have to see. I mean, Palmer naturally is more of a right-handed sided player. Never really got a chance to play there so far for Manchester City. Isaac says, remember when you did the match against Leeds and the score was 3-1 Man City, and you predicted, and you asked to get the score right, I predicted 3-1, says Isaac. Well done, Isaac. Predictions aren't easy, and since you're so good at the predictions, what is your prediction for today's game, Isaac? You might have already said it if I go further up, but what is your prediction today, Isaac? Do you think Manchester City are going to come out easy winners in this one? It is at home for City in front of the home fans, and it is up against the Chelsea side that have more inexperience in that team, perhaps, than Manchester City do. I think I'm happy to see Aymeric Laporte back in there, although City, when they played in the cup competitions, they haven't looked so strong at the back. In that game against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, where City went on to win, I thought Grealish played really well in that game, Alvarez played really well in that game, but City were very shaky at the back, and Stefan Ortega saved City time and time again. Will we see Ortega being called into action quite a few times today? We just might we? Because that is the sort of goalkeeper he is. He's there at the last line defence, and he makes the big saves, and that is what you want from your goalkeeper. Isaac's going for a 2-1 or a 3-1, so again, another big win predicted in Manchester City's favour by you, Isaac. I hope you're right, since you got the last one right. We're banking on you being right. City and Chelsea seem to face each other so many times so far, though, this season. I think this is the third time City have still got to go and face Chelsea at home at some point in the season as well. So, too many times City have faced Chelsea, and we'll have to see how City do against Chelsea today, whether we will get that win like we did in the Premier League. I mean, it wasn't the most convincing performance, was it, from Manchester City really in the Premier League. City went on to win 1-0, and they won pretty much just by one little chance. I thought it was a mistake by Kepa Arrizabalaga, which caused that chance for Manchester City, and City will have that chance again, though, to see whether they can, not 3 points this time, face Arsenal or Oxford. What do you think about the draw again? City just seem to always face the toughest teams at the moment, don't they, across the cup competition. City have played Chelsea already twice now across the cup competitions. Liverpool up for Arsenal next. We're the small team. City, people used to say, oh, City always got the easier draws against the smaller teams. Well, City certainly haven't got that this season. They've had to knock all the big teams out, and hopefully that doesn't cost City going in the long term further on in these competitions. Because I think it'd be pretty unfair if that was the case, wouldn't it, really? We faced all the hard teams. I suppose we've knocked all the bigger clubs out if that was the case. But it's going to be a good game again, I think. A good game again. Akanji came on in midweek, didn't he? And he was quite good at Manuel Akanji, I thought, when he came on. Showed up that Manchester City defence, was very clever on the ball. I do have a problem with his lack of aerial ability, Manuel Akanji, but he's back in there today. Kyle Walker as well starts today after a half-time. He was dragged off at half-time, wasn't he, against Chelsea in the last one. Rico Lewis came on for him. Do you think that is because he's not fully fit, or because Pep Guardiola thought tactically Rico Lewis would help the side? I think we certainly see Walker step into a back three predominantly today, not getting forward at all. On Google it says forward in midfield to Jane. Yeah, it could be forward in midfield, but of course we don't know what Pep Guardiola is going to do. You know, against Chelsea in midweek it said it was a 4-3-3, and well, that wasn't the case, was it? City against Chelsea played a sort of 3-5-1. It was not a 4-3-3. You just don't know. Who else is in there? Sergio Gomez starts the first time in a long time, doesn't he, in that Manchester City defence? Will he impress today? He just might. I'm not quite sure. Cole Palmer with another opportunity to impress as well. No Calvin Phillips, which I think is a bit of a surprise. I expected Calvin Phillips to be in there today, actually. I'm surprised Calvin Phillips isn't in there today. I don't know why he's not in there today, Calvin Phillips. I did expect him to be playing in that Manchester City team because, well, he's not played hardly any games for Manchester City. Agent says, I thought you do not do streams for home matches. I don't do streams for home matches in the Premier League, in the Champions League, but in the cup competitions, Agent, I will be doing the streams, and most of the time I will, unless I'm not about. So I am doing a stream here today, and we're doing a stream for Manchester City against Chelsea. Again, it feels like so many times in a Manchester City versus Chelsea. Agent says he forgot Gomez exists sometimes. Yeah, I can see why. Because Sergio Gomez hasn't played a giant part, has he? I think City have made a mistake signing him, really. They didn't want him as a first choice player. They wanted him to come and be, you know, sort of a player for the future out on loan. And in the end, they couldn't get the left back they wanted. I mean, probably for the best, because Marc Cucurella isn't very good at all, is he, Marc Cucurella? At all, Marc Cucurella isn't very good. We saw for Chelsea how poor he was, and if City were going to pay 70 million for him, you'd be very disappointed. I'm just seeing here highlights of Liverpool versus Wolves, where Wolves went to score the winning goal in the 80th minute, and the VAR disallowed the goal for offside, but it's because the VAR wasn't working. They couldn't check the camera angles at Anfield. And if the camera angles don't work at Anfield, that says something, doesn't it? Because the camera angles, that means they've never worked at Anfield, meaning when Manchester City have been sort of crushed by decisions at Anfield, that might be why. We'll have to see. Jaden says, imagine the FA Cup was like the UEFA Champions League, so a group stage and a knockout. That would be scary because it was draw, goes to extra time, and then pens. Yeah. I think the thing is with that, if it was a group stage, you wouldn't see the smaller teams getting through, would you? I think that's the excitement of the knockout phases. It does go to extra time pens in the FA Cup, but not until after the replay. So if City were to draw against Chelsea here today, it would go to a replay at Stamford Bridge. I assume that's what you're asking, Mark Hubert. Andrew says a 2-0 to City. Keep your predictions coming in. Nigel says Gomez isn't as bad as I would say. He is just unready and inexperienced. I think he's a terrible defender, Ajim. I think he's not a good defender at all. He can put a good cross into the box, and you know, I think that he deserves credit for. But he's so bad defensively. Every time a team goes at him, I think we're in big trouble. Now, I've seen, if you watch the Inside City video on YouTube, City were doing a lot of work with Sergio Gomez defensively, making him trying to clear balls off the line and work really hard for his side. And you can see why. You can see why City clearly trying to make sure that they get him into top shape to be a defender if he's going to be a left-back and going to play at Manchester City. I don't think he's quality enough to play midfield, but at left-back possibly due to his technical ability. He's got to improve, and that is going to come with time. He's only 21 years of age. He's not naturally a left-back. I mean, he still plays for Spain's under-21 side, where he plays in midfielder on the wing, on the right-hand side. It's a very different way, isn't it, for him? Edison on the bench here today for City. John Stones as well in there. I'm glad Alvarez is starting, says Mark Hubert. Yeah, and Haaland's on the bench as well. Pep Guardiola spoke this week, didn't he, to say that Alvarez and Haaland could play up top together in a sort of two-striker formation. He said most of his career he hasn't played with two strikers. He said he's played with a false nine even more than that. But he's happy to play with two strikers because he knows Alvarez and Haaland could form a bit of a partnership together. That is an interesting one that we could get to see. He had last season at Anderlecht more than 20 goals and assists. Well, that shows his quality, doesn't it? Ajim, for Sergio Gomez. The problem is his defensive ability. That is where I worry. James says, I don't get why they can't just do extra time in their first game. Like, that's a joke. It's to try and help the smaller sides get a bit more money. If you think that You know, like Oxford against Arsenal. Oxford are going playing Arsenal, and Oxford get a draw at the Emirates. They get a small share of the actual ticket and the fee that's got. But if they then go and play against Arsenal, if they go, bring Arsenal to the Emirates, then they'll get much more of the percentage of ticket sales, and that's really good for a smaller club. So that is why they do that now. You might not entirely agree with that, but that is the reason why they do it, to try and help the smaller sides out the best they can in revenue. Because you think like Manchester City don't really rely on ticket sales, do they, to be one of the best teams in the world and to spend so much money. That doesn't matter to Manchester City, the ticket sales particularly. But to a side like Oxford United or the other ones in this Warsaw, someone like that, they need the money, and that's why they do that, to try and help out the smaller sides. As says, 7 goals and 14 assists for Sergio Gomez. Well, if we saw that sort of Sergio Gomez at City, I think he'd play a lot more, but we don't do we really? We don't see that side of the player. And there's no doubt he's good going forward. I think there's no doubt he's probably quite good going forward for a fullback. It's just the fact that defensively he's absolutely all over the place, and that is what I don't like about him, that he's absolutely all over the place when he does play. So that is the worrying thing. Ederson here having a little talk on the bench with Nathan Ake. Nathan Ake not sure if the seat next to John Stones is free or not. I wonder if Nathan's leaving that seat for Calvin Phillips perhaps to sit there. City already in the tunnel here, around 5 minutes before kick-off. Kyle Walker captaining Manchester City today, which shows, how far he's come since his signing from Spurs. 50 million City signing for. And he's been a brilliant signing, isn't he? Probably one of the best of the Pep Guardiola era, considering how he's been a mainstay at right back since then. I think Gomez is probably better as a midfielder, says Jack Wilson. You're quite right, Jack. I think that is his natural position. I think maybe if City are playing this sort of full-back position where, like Rico Lewis, the full-back tucks into the midfield, I think we'll see that from Gomez here today. I really do. And I think that will suit his game. The problem is, when Chelsea come forward and he has to then move back into the fullback situation, is where I worry about him. So that is where the issues are, I think, with Sergio Gomez. But we'll have to see what goes on. So out on the side, City in a new sort of training or warm-up wear there, a jacket. There's a new banner at Manchester City. Definition of Manchester. We'll see things they'll never see. Riyad Mahrez have a bit of a drink on the way out. I've never seen that before. Isaac says, anyone who can name a lot of countries, click on this link. Name a lot of countries? I'm not sure you're on about there, Isaac. So, Manchester City side. Ortega starts in goal. Walker, Akanji, Laporte and Gomez the back 4. It's on your screen now. Rodri, Bernardo Silva and Foden in the midfield 3. It's saying on here. Mahrez, Alvarez and Palmer in the front 3. Ake, Phillips, Stones, Cancelo, Gundogan, Haaland, De Bruyne, Rico Lewis and Ederson on the bench for Pep Guardiola's side. I expect to see perhaps Cancelo to get a bit of game time today. Maybe Erling Haaland comes on at some point. If City are 4 or 5-0 up, I don't think he'll come on. Ilkay Gundogan seems like a realistic player to come on. Mainly, I think the first name on the bench to come on today will be Calvin Phillips, because they want to get him game time. Chelsea start with a 4-3-3 as well. It's Kepa in goal. Chalobah, Koulibaly, Humphries and Hall the back 4. Gallagher, Jorginho, captain and Kovacic the back 3. Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz and Mason Mount the front 3. Hutchinson, Kukureya, Chukwuemeka, who's impressive against City in the previous game. Azpilicueta, new signing for Fana is on the bench. Denis Zakaria, Thiago Silva, new signing Badiashile is also there. And also Bettinelli, the second choice keeper for Graham Potter's side. Ajin says England, Spain, Germany, Hungary, France. There's no more on the screens. That's the countries. Ajin already naming all the things. I haven't got a link actually, Isaac, so I can't see that. But you guys already showing that you've got a bit of quality with flags. Do you mean on the screen now? On the bottom of my screen. England, Spain, Germany, Hungary and France. They are the supporters clubs linked with the channel. So captain Jorginho here for Chelsea on your screen. If you're watching, you can time your game with ours. And you can watch it alongside us. If not, you won't be able to see it at the same time. You can always pause the TV. Maybe you can't watch the game at all and you're just listening for the commentary. We'll have you covered on all the action from Manchester City and Chelsea and trying to describe it in as much detail as possible of what is going on in today's game. Julian Alvarez, the world champion, the only world champion in Manchester City side. A World Cup winner with Argentina. He starts up top today for City. And Pep Guardiola, he's already given instructions here to his team. The City get a little bit of a photo before the game. Kyle Walker and Jorginho. And the referee is going to flip a coin to decide who starts. I assume it will be the same way. Not many teams ask City to change, do they? Change the way they're kicking off. I've never seen really many teams do that. Maybe one or two do that, but you hardly see that often. See teams do that. I think Burnley used to be a side that thought that had sort of, you know, put Manchester City off by asking them to switch sides, but it's never really worked. And it looks like they're going to be doing a minute's silence before kick-off, right before kick-off actually, because I suppose this game is supposed to kick off at 50:30. Or a minute's applause for those that have possibly lost their lives over the last year. It's actually for ex-Chelsea striker and Italian Gianluca Vialli, who died at the age of 58. Mike Hewitt says, I don't know why, but I enjoy Alvarez more than Haaland. That's a tough one, isn't it? I think Alvarez and Haaland should play together. Why not get them both up top? Alvarez playing a little bit more out wide, but coming inside, I think they'd work very well together. Anyone in the USA can watch it on ESPN Plus, says Isaac. Yes, they can. You can watch it if you want to watch the game and listen to us at the same time. And they're doing a minute's applause here for Gianluca Vialli. Won the Euros as assistant coach of Italy quite recently with Roberto Mancini. Scored plenty of goals in a Champions League winning, or a side that got to the Champions League final in Sampdoria, and then went on to win the Champions League with Juventus. And then he moved on to Chelsea, where he scored quite a few goals for Chelsea as well in the Premier League. And I think he's a club legend of Chelsea, isn't he, really? And known to be a very nice person, and that is a big thing, isn't it? Not known just for your footballing ability, but who you are as a human being. And he seems to be a very, very popular human being. So Manchester City versus Chelsea. Linda's predicted a 2-0. Predictions still coming in. 93% you're predicting a win for Manchester City. City versus Chelsea. Ball is in the centre circle. Kai Havertz, the German, playing up top again today. I just don't see him as a striker, personally. I feel like we've played a lot better in the hole behind the striker for Chelsea the other day before the injury. And then they had to swap it around a little bit. So City versus Chelsea. Referee is at the ready. Mitre is the brand of football they use. We have kick-off here. Chelsea in their blue kit. City in the sky blue. Third round of the FA Cup. Manchester City face Chelsea. And up next, most likely, if City will get through this one, is Arsenal. It looks like Foden is on the left wing. And Cole Palmer's through the middle. Long ball by Kepa. Intercepted by Kyle Walker. City with a good start here. Walker into Koulibaly. Kyle Walker goes down. He wants a foul on Kalidou Koulibaly. And it goes behind for a throw-in. Kyle Walker here looking at the referee, the captain, to ask whether there's a foul on Koulibaly. But City there, immediately trying to pounce on a mistake by Spanish goalkeeper Kepa. Lewis Hall at left-back, who's looked impressive in the 2 games he's played against Manchester City that I've seen him playing. Hall with a throw forward towards Ziyech. Knocked down to Mason Mount, played through to Havertz and intercepted by Swiss international Manuel Akanji. Riyad Mahrez on this right-hand side, and Kyle Walker goes all the way back to his German goalkeeper, Stefan Ortega Moreno. City will play out from the back here. Aymeric Laporte for Manchester City. It is Phil Foden in the middle, I think, and Cole Palmer on the left-hand side. Interesting. That's exactly what we wanted to see as City fans. I wasn't entirely sure Pep would go that one. Maybe this is the transition now we see of Phil Foden into midfield over the seasons. Here is Laporte under pressure from Gallagher, who leaves a late one in Aymeric Laporte, who gives it to Conor Gallagher. He's not happy with that one at all, Aymeric Laporte. And Conor Gallagher certainly is a player who does that. We saw him do it against City before. Walk with a poor pass, which Lewis Hall can only deflect into Rodri. Bernardo Silva on this right-hand side now. Alvarez has made a running behind here. Julian Alvarez. Back to Bernardo Silva. Good play from Julian. Bernardo. Running at Humphreys. And Humphreys, good defending. And he clears it away with the left foot. Lumps it up to Kai Havertz. Nice touch under pressure from Akanji, who's done fantastic against Kai Havertz there. And Rodri into Sergio Gomez. Good play from City. An extra 100 subscribers today, says Ajin. Well, I'm not sure that's the case, actually. I think it's because I went from... I probably have gone up... If I've gone up by 100, Ajin, that is incredible. But thank you very much for telling all your friends to subscribe. I think it was... we did go up by quite a few, maybe 10, not 100. But if it's 100 subscribers, that would be crazy. But thank you very much for asking to subscribe. Jack says it definitely showed against Chelsea in the league that Foden isn't the best in the wing. Yeah, I just think he's not the best of form at the moment, Phil Foden. Let's see how he does in this midfield role. Here's Humphreys, Koulibaly. It's Chalobah playing at right back, actually. Humphreys alongside Koulibaly at the back. Ooh, nice play. Havertz to play out a bit of an issue here. Jorginho over the top to Conor Gallagher. And it goes through to Aymeric Laporte, who will go back to Stefan Ortega Moreno. Will he? No. Into Akanji instead. Watch out for Conor Gallagher making those late challenges. I think he'll get himself booked early doing that, so I'm Aymeric Laporte. He'll make a most of it if the Conor Gallagher touches him next time. Here's Laporte. Wide to Cole Palmer on this left-hand side. Palmer's much more of a natural right-hand-sided player. Likes to cut inside that left foot, but he's on the left again today because Mahrez is starting. Here is Rodri. Laporte. Don't think there's anyone better in the City side at passing than Aymeric Laporte. Good little 1-2 with Phil Foden. Then into Rodri. Great play by Manchester City in the midfield. Rodri wide to Cole Palmer. He's up against Chalobah here. In behind to Rodri again. Rodri. Could he put it across the box? Decides not to. Goes back to Cole Palmer. And Laporte again here. Laporte. Nice ball through to Phil Foden by Aymeric Laporte here. Great pass. Palmer. Crossing by Palmer's blocked by Chalobah. Drops back to Palmer. He takes a nice first touch. Palmer. Laporte. Palmer again. Oh, and given away by Cole Palmer. He tries a 1-2 with Phil Foden. That was a cheap pass by Palmer. Back to Kepa by Chelsea under pressure from Julian Alvarez. And Kepa does well to get it out to Lewis Hall. Flicks it over the head of Bernardo Silva. Hall. And back he goes to Kepa again. Well worked out by Chelsea. Kepa Arrizabalaga. Humphries looks comfortable so far at the back for Chelsea. With the dreadlocks, you can spot him from a mile off. Blonde dreadlocks. Has the young centre-back. Chelsea have got one of the best youth systems in the world. And you can see that with the players that are coming through. Kepa Arrizabalaga. Into Humphries. Humphries again. Back out to Kepa. City have got 4 players pressing Chelsea. Walker goes tight to Lewis Hall here. He's got to go back to Koulibaly. Can Chelsea play out from the press? Kalidou Koulibaly. Straight to Cole Palmer. Terrible pass. Palmer's got to pass it there. Instead, he tries to beat Gallagher, and he gives it away to Chelsea. We've got a chance for a counter here. Hakim Ziyech through to Kai Havertz, and it's read by Akanji back to his goalkeeper. Palmer's got to do a bit better there. Palmer's got to do a lot better there. Here is Kyle Walker. Mahrez. Under pressure from Lewis Hall, who's tight to him. Mahrez into Manuel Akanji. I think Palmer's got to be a bit more clever in possession. Akanji over the top here to Julian Alvarez. Will chase this. Kepa has caught it outside his own box, off the foot of Alvarez and behind for a throw-in. Good pressing from Julian, who closed down the Spaniard very quickly there. I think the Chelsea goalkeeper Edouard Mendy is injured again, the Senegalese. And Kepa is getting his chance, and perhaps his first choice now for Graham Potter's Chelsea side. Ziyech, and intercepted by Rodri. Good tackle. City back in possession. Kyle Walker. Mason Mount across to win it off Walker. Dispossessed. Kovacic wide to Lewis Hall. And it's a terrible ball by Hall all the way through to goalkeeper Ortega. Very poor. And Ortega quickly throws it straight out to Walker to get City back in the attack again. Bernardo Silva. If Kepa is on goal, 7-0 is very possible, says Adrian. Yeah, we didn't really test Kepa, did we, City, on the previous fixture in the midweek against Chelsea. Didn't test him as much as we should have done. Ortega switches the play to the left-hand side of his box to Laporte. Back to Ortega. Havertz is coming in. Ortega still calmly managed to pass it out to Phil Foden. What a goalkeeper. The ball at his feet. Very calm. Laporte. Palmer. Dribbles out of a small space. Thought he was fouled there, Cole Palmer. Instead, the free kick goes Chelsea's way after a Sergio Gomez foul on Chalobah. I didn't think it was much of a foul. I think Chalobah ran into Gomez, but the referee gives it anyway. Yeah, Palmer just lost it. And then Chalobah runs into Gomez. And Chelsea get a free kick. 6 minutes gone. 20 seconds away from 7 minutes gone in this fixture. So far, as we already mentioned, the winner will face Oxford or Arsenal. Expected to be Arsenal. But could Oxford cause an upset in the FA Cup? They just might. We've seen plenty of sides over the years beat Arsenal, haven't we? Unexpectedly. Here is Humphries. Back to goalkeeper Kepa. Imagine suggesting that Kepa was distracted. He might have been, mightn't he? I don't think Kepa is that bad particularly. I've seen him make some really, really good saves. I think he's just one of those goalkeepers who's got a mistake in him always. And there's plenty of those around the world. I think David De Gea's certainly got a mistake in him. Edison, I think he's got more than one mistake in him. And that can be an issue, can't it? And it sort of nullifies what they do well. Unfortunately at times. Laporte. Foden. Akanji. Back he goes to Ortega, pressing on the goalkeeper, Rodri. Ortega. Late one by Mason Mount on Rodri. City play on. And here's Kyle Walker. And Rodri seems to have felt that one from Kai Havertz. which the referee, he's not going to pull out the card for, it seems. Oh, studs by Kai Havertz, right down the ankle of Rodri. Very nasty challenge by the German, up top for Chelsea. And it should be more than just a free kick here. It should be more than just a free kick. The referee decides not. And Pep Guardiola says to Calvin Phillips, get warming up, I think. Just in case. It's a nasty one by Havertz. Right down the back of Rodri's ankle. With the studs. I don't know how it's not even a yellow card, this. How is it not even a yellow card, this? I don't know, referee. Hopefully Rodri gets Kai Havertz back with a bit of a big one. Begovic is clear of all, says Adjin. Of course, a Bosnian goalkeeper at Chelsea. Or is he at Everton now? He was at Chelsea for a while, wasn't he, Asmir Begovic? He nearly signed for Manchester City, didn't he, one time, Begovic, when he was at Stoke? City wanted him to replace Joe Hart, Roberto Mancini did, but Mancini was sacked and City instead brought in Manuel Pellegrini, who thought different. They decided on Willy Caballero as the man to give Joe Hart a run for his money. Here is Aymeric Laporte. Everton's second choice, Begovic now. It's amazing how so many players don't they could get big moves, they miss out on them and then they just never seem to happen. Like Jack Butland has moved to Manchester United. That's been a very strange transfer. On loan. Here's Laporte. Rodri. Rodri out to Phil Foden on this left-hand side. Foden looking for options. Oh, it's Gomez who's given it away. Gomez still. The Etcher's gone down holding his head. City should play on. Laporte switches Conor Gallagher. I wouldn't care about Gallagher. He loves leaving late challengers in, doesn't he? Kyle Walker. Bernardo Silva. Walker again. In behind to Riyad Mahrez. He's in behind Lewis Hall here. He's quick, Lewis Hall. But Mahrez will give him a tough time. Hall makes a challenge here. It's still on to Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez begins Koulibaly across the box. And Kepa catches as Alvarez slides in to put that in the back of the net. Jet Wilson, I'm pretty sure he scored a goal from some point. He did. Asmir Begovic actually scored a really good goal, didn't he? From a goal kick, I think, or from a drop ball. Oh, good challenge by Hall, but it still fell to Mahrez. He put it across the box, a bit close to Kepa. And Alvarez couldn't slide in and get that. Good catch, good claim by the goalkeeper for Chelsea. Butland was second choice at Palace, Adjin. Butland wasn't even second choice at Palace, he was third choice. They've got Gaita as first choice and Sam Johnstone as second choice. Butland's third choice. Gallagher gives it away to Cole Palmer here. Palmer keeps it well and gives it back to Sergio Gomez. Well done, Cole Palmer there. A foul by Conor Gallagher. Advantage played. Manuel Akanji brings it forward for Manchester City. Looking for a long ball into Alvarez. And the end goes wide to Kyle Walker. And Lewis Hall takes it off him. And Walker a little bit unhappy with Akanji giving it him there. He's saying you've got to give that ball into behind to Alvarez. Play the pass. Alvarez will make those runs in behind. Will cause issues for the Chelsea defence. I mean, another defeat here for Chelsea. I don't know what Chelsea's record is. Should we have a look? Because I don't think Graham Potter's got a great record at all in his previous few games. And this might add pressure to Graham Potter. Julian Alvarez under pressure from Kalidou Koulibaly. He's held him off Alvarez. Played it into Lewis Hall. And won a throw-in for his side. So Chelsea's previous fixtures, if we can have a look here. They lost 1-0 to Arsenal. Lost 2-0 to City. 1-0 to Newcastle. 1-0 to Villa. Then they beat Bournemouth by a goal. Or 2 goals. And then they went on to lose to some other teams as well. Incredible. And City also. So terrible record at the moment for Graham Potter at Chelsea. Here's Phil Foden. Against Chalobah. Oh, it's Foden, I think, or Gomez, who skinned him into the box. Into Alvarez. Flicks it up. Phil Foden in there. Alvarez could be in there. Phil Foden with a flick over the head. And the referee's give a free kick because he thinks Phil Foden's fouled Kalidou Koulibaly. Didn't think so. But the referee says so. Koulibaly throws the gloves away. Didn't think it was a foul by Foden. He's every right to try and go for the header. It was good work by Sergio Gomez down his left-hand side. Gives Chalobah a torrid time. Gets a cross in. It flicks off Foden's boot. Alvarez then can't control it. Foden goes to the header. Alvarez then hits it into Koulibaly's head while he's on the floor. It falls into Phil Foden off the knee of Alvarez. Foden goes for a sort of flicked overhead kick. And it's wide of Kepa Arrizabalaга's post. Not by far. Kepa just watched it as well. Go wide. The referee said there was a foul in there on Kalidou Koulibaly by Phil Foden as he jumped for the header. He thought he was in the back of him. Here's Kepa. And off the leg of Mason Mount behind for Throwing to Manchester City. Kyle Walker. Chelsea are in 10th place with a record of 7 wins, 4 draws and 6 losses, says Isaac. That is poor, isn't it, for this Chelsea side? I suppose Graham Potter's had a lot of injuries. He's yet to have a transfer window. We'll have to see. Walker here. Tight to Koulibaly, who's done well, actually, in that situation. Kovacic drives Chelsea forward here. Mateo Kovacic shows too much to Manuel Akanji, who goes and tackles him. Akanji. Walker. All the way back to Laporte. I feel like City could have done better there. Sergio Gomez on this left-hand side. Into Cole Palmer. Chalobah. Palmer back to Gomez. And he goes back to Aymeric Laporte. Bernardo Silva dropping deep, picking up the ball in the centre circle. Turning, twisting. Left-footed pass out to Gomez from the left-hand side. The fullback comes down the byline now. Tries to get to it, can't get there. Laporte. Foden. Back to Laporte again. City playing in little small spaces in little triangles. Gomez once more. Decides not to cross this time. Runs past Conor Gallagher and back into Aymeric Laporte. City playing a lot of backwards passes. Chelsea are there, sight to him when they look to play the balls into the box. Sacking manager that gave you your Champions League, first time Champions League after 2012 isn't a clever move, says Adrian. Yeah, the board didn't like Tuchel, did it? And Todd Boehly didn't like him because he wouldn't sign Cristiano Ronaldo. He didn't want Ronaldo. Don't think Chelsea are going as many places as we think they are. They might spend money, but we don't know what they'll do with it. Laporte's telling Gomez to get forward. Sergio Gomez. Phil Foden. Back to Gomez. And I think that might be a throw into Chelsea, is it? It is. Gomez passes it straight out of play. Well, he's not had the best of first half performances so far, Gomez, in the first 15 minutes. One good ball into the box after a good movement, but other than that, not been impressed by him. Chelsea back to Kepa. He goes across to Kalidou Koulibaly. Lewis Hall. I called Lewis Bate for pretty much the whole time he came on against City in the last fixture. Kovacic. Koulibaly. Tries to turn Mahrez. He does well. Lewis Hall on this left-hand channel. Space to run into. Tries to go past Bernardo Silva. Good tackle by Bernardo. Behind for a throw into Chelsea. Chelsea, I think, are trying to play it in little pockets of space, then switch it to Hakim Ziyech or whoever's on the far side. Kovacic, nice flick around the corner to Mount, but can't find him. Walker. Mahrez, bad pass. Intercepted by Hall. Mount round the corner to Ziyech, who's gone trying to help out. Great play by Chelsea. And they accelerate away, do they? Walker can't dispossess Mason Mount. Oh, Bernardo Silva gets back for his team. Manuel Akanji away to Mahrez. And out behind by Lewis Hall, intercepted. Pep Guardiola is just sort of gestating to his players there. Play a little passes, then get out. Bring Chelsea in. Bring Chelsea onto you in those little pockets of space where you play those, in the triangles, those 1-2s, and so on. And then, once you play out the triangle, get into space and attack. City haven't managed to do that quite yet. Adrian says, respect to Todd Boehly, isn't football type of guy, he's ruining Chelsea. I don't think he's doing the best of jobs. Humphrey dives in on Mahrez, who managed to work it wide to Cole Palmer here. 1-on-1 with Chalobah. Sergio Gomez in the overlap. Palmer. Miscontrol. Lays it off to Gomez, who tries the cross straight into Chalobah. Cole Palmer there just didn't seem to really get the ball under his spell. Laporte back out to Palmer. Palmer the ball in behind, which is deflected off Chalobah again. I don't know why the board let Tuchel spend so much money if they were just going to sack him. I know it's like Aubameyang. They could have got him free in January. In the end, they ended up not signing him. And they signed him in summer for, 10 million for a player that would have been on free. And then, he's 34. He suits Tuchel, but he's not really a Graham Potter striker. I just don't get it. Stupid by Chelsea. Koulibaly was a request by Tuchel. And again, I don't think Potter's a big fan of him. Gomez in behind here. Chalobah reads it. And behind for a throw into City. Adrian's expecting that 7-0. Isaac can't believe it. Adrian thinks that 7-0 is going to happen at some point. Well, we've seen 6-0 before. 7-0, maybe a bit too much. Phil Foden. Dispossessed by Jorginho. Ziyech and straight out for a throw-in. City take a throw-in. Slowly, Gomez there, just seeing if Ziyech will cut out his throw as he went to go it to Rodri. And then it didn't go to Rodri. He still takes his time and he rolls it into the path of Palmer now off the surface. Palmer. Bernardo Silva drops into a centre-back role alongside Akanji to pick up the ball and create a chance. Perhaps. Walker. Walker goes back to Akanji. There's not enough movement in the City team sometimes, is there? Akanji. Laporte. Gomez. Palmer on the last line of defenders here. Gomez back to Aymeric Laporte. Under pressure from Kai Havertz. Laporte into Stefan Ortega. Mason Mount. Going closer to Ortega. And towards Akanji. Trying to stop that passing out from the back. If we lose, blame me, I'm jinx, says Ajin. If we lose 7-0, I'll be worried. Mahrez. Bernardo. Akanji. Ortega again. Now the switch has got to come, City. Once you've made Chelsea run across the field, you've got to get forward on the other side. Aymeric Laporte just stating to the players, move for me. Laporte with the ball in behind to Cole Palmer here. Great ball by Laporte. Cole Palmer with a chance here into the side netting. It's a corner. Or is it offside? Perhaps an offside. Great ball by Aymeric Laporte into Palmer. Makes a really nice run from inside to out. Or from outside to in. He's played in here. Could go for Alvarez. Instead he goes for goal. And it comes off the boot of Kepa. Palmer tries to go past Kepa at his near post. Off the leg of Kepa. Off the calf of him. Nearly goes through his legs. It does go through his legs. Not sweetly. Pulls it back to Palmer from the corner here. And it bobbles up in front of Cole Palmer. Who sends it up and into the second tier. Can't catch that at all. I wanted to there, Cole Palmer. Absolute City have not been impressed so far from Palmer, says Jack. You know what, Jack? I'm not a big fan of Cole Palmer either. I do not think he's the one, personally. But I have to say, in fairness to him, he's playing out of position. He's yet to play at right wing, which is sort of his role. That's where he needs to be played. So we'll see when he is played there, how he plays. Good pressing by City here. Chelsea in big trouble. Kovacic. Oh, it's Jorginho. It's a lovely back heel into Koulibaly. Long ball by Koulibaly into Havertz. And they break the City press. And City in a bit of trouble here. Conor Gallagher wide to Chalobah. Back to Gallagher. City do get bodies back. And Chelsea end up going back. They had a chance there to cause City problems. But couldn't get the ball quick enough forward. Chelsea go all the way back to Kepa Arrizabalaga. Humphreys. Kepa once more. I don't know why Chelsea didn't try and go forward there. They had the chance to attack. And they ended up playing it backwards. Humphreys with a long ball here. Up to Kai Havertz, who's in behind Gomez, who falls over Sergio Gomez. Ziyech wants a penalty and a red card for Gomez. The referee ignores it. Well, VAR check this one. Gomez could get another red card for Manchester City. Clumsy by the fullback. Very clumsy. Falls over, takes Ziyech out. I don't think he was getting on the end of it anyway. But it would be a red card for the Spaniard if VAR check this and say that he did foul Ziyech. But it looks like they're not going to. At the moment anyway. Gomez. Palmer. Gomez again. Rodri. Bad pass by Sergio Gomez. Rodri back to Gomez. Give it away, City. Conor Gallagher. Through to Kai Havertz here. Manuel Akanji leaves it. Because Ortega's out quickly to catch it. Good shout from Stefan Ortega. Walker. Mahrez. City go the other way now. Mahrez skips past Jorginho. And dealt with by Kalidou Koulibaly. Didn't even touch him. I saw it on the replay. Gomez fell over and Ziyech dived, said Wilson. I didn't see the replay. It's not been a replay here. I saw Gomez trip and fall. I didn't know if he caught Ziyech. Off the heel, Kyle Walker here by Chelsea. And out for a throw-in. They're going to show the replay now. The ball comes over the top here. Gomez does trip. Ooh, I don't know if he trips by kicking Ziyech perhaps, but I don't think it was intentional. And Ziyech wasn't getting the end of it anyway. Rodri. Good win here by Rodri. Julian Alvarez. City on the counter, 3-on-2. Julian Alvarez. Wide to Riyad Mahrez, a bit behind him. Mahrez got to pass it here. A free kick Manchester City. Taken down by Lewis Hall. He's got to pass it there, Mahrez, quickly. I know it's behind him. One touch and play it through to Alvarez, but he couldn't do. A free kick for City now in a good position. Here's a foul by Lewis Hall, who kicks Riyad Mahrez and doesn't get the ball. The Chelsea players not happy with it. They surrounded the referee there. Jorginho. And Hakim Ziyech and Kovacic. It's a good position here on the right-hand side of the box. More for a left footer, perhaps. Even a right footer to swing it in round the wall. Can't quite see the camera angle how far away this is yet. It looks like Riyad Mahrez is the one to take it. Does he shoot? Does he pass it? Good free kick territory, I'd say. 30, 35 yards out. Not the easiest to put in from here. Maybe it's a little bit too far out. but Riyad Mahrez is over it. And I think we'll see Riyad Mahrez hit this. Will he finish it, however? I'm not quite sure. Mahrez has been left by Bernardo Silva. Riyad Mahrez and the free kick. What a free kick from Riyad Mahrez. What a free kick from Riyad Mahrez, 1-0 City. Absolutely class from Mahrez. Absolutely class from Mahrez. Bangs in the top corner from the free kick. What a free kick. Messi, yes, says Jack. Absolutely. Left-footed finish by Riyad Mahrez. And Pep Guardiola pulls the players in for a team talk now. Mahrez having a bit of a laugh with the players on the bench here. What a free kick this is. Right into the top corner. Steps up. Takes a little nick off the wall, I think, off Conor Gallagher. Wonderful free kick from Riyad Mahrez. 1-0 Manchester City. Brilliant from Mahrez. Adjin only 6 to go, says MK. Mahrez back in form finally, says Adjin, quite right. What a free kick from Riyad Mahrez. 1-0 Manchester City. A lovely 30-yard free kick lifted over the wall by the left foot of Riyad Mahrez. And the Algerian dispatches it in the top corner magically to give City the lead. Let's go, says Isaac. City take the lead in the 25th minute here against Graham Potter's Chelsea. Kepa into the path of Rodri. Poor pass. Nearly a nice idea. Walker lets it run away from Lewis Hall. Bernardo Silva back to Walker. And City calm it down and go back to Akanji and keep control of this tie. Aymeric Laporte. Gomez. Graham Potter's time goes. Continues to be poor. Bad pass by Gomez to Laporte. Laporte's defended so well there. He's got to be frustrated. Gomez is shocking. He's so bad. Kovacic running at City here. Laporte is not happy with Sergio Gomez, I'm sure. The guy is the absolute weak link of this side completely. Koulibaly over to Humphries. Chelsea have got to come forward now. Got to give it more of a go. If they score like every 10 minutes with added time, 7-0 is there, says Adjin. Very true. Conor Gallagher for Chelsea in this right back position now as he drifts over from midfield. Humphries back to Kepa. This Chelsea side just don't seem to have it at the moment. Koulibaly. Bad pass into Ziyech and intercepted by Laporte. Phil Foden. Bernardo Silva. Bernardo. Back to Manuel Akanji. Mahrez can take some more free kicks. Adjin. Yeah, if we get another free kick, Riyad Mahrez is going to be right up for it now. What a free kick it was. Killed into the top corner. Little deflection off the wall, yes, but brilliant. Foden, wide to Sergio Gomez. Up against Conor Gallagher. Cole Palmer. Rodri. City play backwards again. Rodri. Nice switch of play into Manuel Akanji on the right-hand side of the centre circle. Akanji left-footed out to Kyle Walker on this right-hand side. A little 1-2 Riyad Mahrez. No, Mahrez decides to go infield to Bernardo Silva, who skips past a few challenges, then plays it into Walker. And then back to Mahrez. Silky from Manchester City here. Mahrez then switched out to Cole Palmer and Sergio Gomez's side. Gomez in behind to Palmer on this left-hand side. And a big challenge by Conor Gallagher, who seems to have gone into a right-back role here. Chelsea, I think, have gone to a back 5. Chalobah's tucking in alongside Humphries and Kalidou Koulibaly. And it's Lewis Hall and Conor Gallagher as the wing-backs. Gallagher's gone out of midfield now. Palmer up against Gallagher. Holding off Gallagher. Palmer spins Gallagher. Then back. And wins a corner for his side against Conor Gallagher. Well done, Cole Palmer. And the boy from Essex with the headband in. And the blonde-dyed hair does not look happy with himself. Bags of energy, Conor Gallagher. But at the moment, he's not having the best of time for Chelsea. City corner taken by Phil Foden. Akanji in there by Lewis Hall. Foden crossed in. Aymeric Laporte arriving. Well dealt with. Rodri down to Julian Alvarez. Blocked away by Chelsea. Falls out to Riyad Mahrez on this right-hand side. And he plays it back to Kyle Walker. Bernardo Silva. City keep the big men in the box here. Bernardo. Mahrez. Can he swing a cross in here? Decides not to. Akanji stays forward and so does Aymeric Laporte. Walker. Rodri. Mahrez. Difficult pass, but he finds Julian Alvarez there. A little push on him by Jorginho just to get him out of his path. Rodri. City still keep the centre-backs up. Walker. It's like they're waiting for that cross to come in. Laporte is slowly working his way back. Akanji stays forward. Rodri out to Sergio Gomez. Gomez back to Walker on this right-hand side. Akanji's now drifting back as well. Walker with the ball forward here. Chased by Julian Alvarez. Alvarez gets there. Alvarez under pressure from Kalidou Koulibaly. Did he have a handful of Julian's shirt there? Referee says no. Alvarez tried to take a touch and get a bit close to the goal, but he just ran out of room. Ended up taking it behind for a goal kick. But he was trying. Oh, VAR needs to check this. Laporte had a free header, by the way, in the corner. And Kai Havertz punches it off the head of Aymeric Laporte. And VAR is going to look at this one as a possible penalty. It's a clear penalty. Kai Havertz puts his hand out and punches it off the head of Aymeric Laporte. It's a clear penalty. It's a clear as day penalty. Laporte comes in to head this one in the back of the net. And Kai Havertz sticks his arm out and punches it off the head of Aymeric Laporte. Good game so far, says Sophie. Well, it's going to get even better for Manchester City because this is going to be a penalty, surely. It is a penalty for Manchester City. The Chelsea players can complain all they want. Kai Havertz is pretty much just goalkeeper-style punch that off Laporte. We couldn't see it in real time. I think Graham Potter's watching this one in pure confusion. I can't tell you what I've just seen Graham Potter say there, but I tell you what, Graham Potter can't believe it himself. Kepa says to Alvarez, starting the mind games now. You're going to miss this one, says Kepa. Look at Kepa giving... I hope Alvarez scores here. Kepa is over Alvarez, giving him a bit of a talking to, saying you're going to miss in all this. Julian Alvarez smiles back and says something back. Both Spanish speakers. I'm hoping Julian steps up and scores here. A world champion. You can't complain, can you? Chelsea over that one. Alvarez versus Kepa Arrizabalaga. From the penalty spot. Manchester City's world champion, Julian Alvarez! In the back of the net. Kepa gets a hand on it. But he can't keep it out. And Alvarez makes it 1-0 Manchester City. 2-0 Manchester City. Kepa goes the right way. And he tips it onto the post with the outstretched right hand as it goes towards the bottom of the left-hand corner. And he tips it onto the post, Kepa. And it bounces off the post in the back of the net. Good penalty in the end by Alvarez because it's taken with power. And the trademark Spider-Man celebration from the Argentinian. Good penalty hit with power. Right into that bottom corner. Kepa can't keep it out. City 2, Chelsea 0. City in front and flying here. Kai Havertz. See the frustration from the German, but he can't complain. Cross comes in and he punches it away. Ajin says, bravo Alvarez, only 5 more to go. Perhaps Ajin might be right here. Jack says, good penalty, hard enough and well placed. They even kept it. Though he went the right way, he can't stop it. And it's something Pep Guardiola spoke about, isn't that, Jack? Pep Guardiola spoke about that when Haaland scored the penalty against Fulham, when it went off the keeper. He said that when he spoke to, the strikers about it, if you hit it hard, even if the keeper gets a hand there, because it's so close, the chance there it might go in. Conor Gallagher dispossessed by Alvarez here. And a free kick for what, referee? Very weak wide, Conor Gallagher. Didn't think that was a free kick at all. And Humphries takes it quickly. Jorginho. Chelsea have gone back into a back four now. Gallagher's gone back into the midfield as they now need to get 2 goals. City have had 4 attempts, 3 on target. Chelsea, 0 shots on target, 0 shots in the game. Mason Mount. A few were excited about him being back today. He's been non-existent. Rodri. Well found by Ortega. Phil Foden. The game's opening up here. Here's Cole Palmer. Can he keep it in play on this left-hand side? He can do. Gomez. Foden. Gives it straight to Chelsea. Phil Foden with a really cheap touch. And sets Chelsea on the attack here. And Phil Foden, what I don't like, he's given the ball away now. And he's jogging back and not even helping out the side defensively. Conor Gallagher with the cross in. Bernardo Silva in the centre-back position heads it away. Today is David Silva's birthday. This wins for him, says Ajin. Great to see it. But I didn't even know it's David Silva's birthday. I actually have a signed picture from David Silva. That says from David Silva. And it says to me, from David Silva, on my 21st birthday. Someone got that for me. And it was an amazing present. Absolutely amazing present. So Graham Potter's side will be pretty disappointed, won't they, Chelsea? A free kick and a penalty. 2 set pieces that have cost them. Kovacic here. Beaten to it by Bernardo Silva. Kovacic gets his foot in and wins it back for Chelsea. Then he skips past Rodri Kovacic. And Manuel Akanji intercepts the pass into Riyad Mahrez. Off to Phil Foden. City playing with a lot of energy here. Here is Phil Foden. Wide to Cole Palmer. Up against Chalobah. Palmer. Couple of shimmies with the shoulder. Palmer taking on Chalobah, nowhere to go. Palmer into Sergio Gomez and just gives it away. That left-hand side is poor, Palmer and Gomez. I think that's where I'd change the game if I could do. Maybe Cancelo or a left winger come on. One of them's got to change because they're both not playing very well at all. Humphreys for Chelsea. Long ball into Conor Gallagher's feet. Looking to run at City. A little nutmeg on Rodri by Gallagher. Here's Kai Havertz. Left-footed switch out to the left-hand side to Lewis Hall. Intercepted by Walker. And back to goalkeeper Ortega. Good interception by Walker. Well read. Aaron says he'd love to get a signed picture from Maguire, but David Silva, yeah, absolutely amazing. I've actually got 3 signed pictures behind me as well, which you'll start to see on the career mode soon. I can't remember, I've only just got them up recently. I've got a signed Vincent Kompany picture from his goal against Manchester United, a signed Sergio Aguero picture from his goal against QPR, and a signed David Silva picture from his pass against Manchester United. 3 pictures behind me, and then a separate David Silva picture that says to me from David Silva on your 21st from number 21. Absolutely amazing. David Silva was so good he didn't look out of place in the midfield with Iniesta and Xavi at the World Cup. Exactly, Jack. Up there, isn't he? I saw a very disrespectful poll on Twitter the other day. It could have been this morning, actually. It was, who's better in their prime? Dimitri Payet, Mesut Ozil, Christian Eriksen, David Silva, I thought. The other 3 couldn't even lace David Silva's boots, could they? Here's Kyle Walker, firing to Phil Foden. A little flick around the corner by Phil Foden. Might fall back to Phil Foden here. Humphreys good defending. Back into the goalkeeper. Kepa's hands. Wasn't a back pass, he just flicked it up in the air. But a little bit of combination play there between Foden and Alvarez that nearly came off. 34 minutes gone at the Etihad here. And City, very much the better side. Chelsea don't look anywhere near City at the moment. Humphreys again looks for the long ball. Into Ziyech, does well to find Jorginho. Tackled by Rodri and Phil Foden's in there to nick it. Rodri into Julian Alvarez as he went to strike it. It was blocked brilliantly by Koulibaly. Mahrez is saying he should have gone into him, Rodri, instead of going to Julian. Chance there for City again to make it 3. Jorginho dispossessed by Rodri. I think he should go to Mahrez there personally, Rodri, but he couldn't do. Bernardo Silva's pulled down the edge of the box and it's a free kick for City right on the edge of the box here. Kalidou Koulibaly this time. The offender. Jack Wilson says, prime Ozil is about the only one. Yeah, I mean, Ozil was good at Real Madrid. And he was sort of good at Arsenal for a while. But I don't think he's anywhere near David Silva, especially longevity as well. What David Silva achieved. So, free kick for City once more. Bernardo Silva comes whispering in the ear of Riyad Mahrez. Could Mahrez go for goal again? This one's a lot closer. It's right on the line, pretty much, of the right-hand side of the box. Only maybe 2 or 3 yards away from the corner. It's a very tough angle for Mahrez to perhaps bend this one in. But does Kepa get his wall wrong this time? Ziyech, Havertz, and Mount in there. Free kick. Here we go. Mahrez again. Mahrez goes for goal again, and Kepa has to punch it up and over the bar. Very difficult to get the bend on it towards the corner. In the end, it was sort of in the middle of the net, and Kepa saves. Adrian has got a shirt of Kroos versus Mexico in 2018. Well, a lot of shirts come from Russia, actually, like that, Adrian. I've seen a few of them, and a picture of Pjanic. Yeah, it depends. Some people collect that. I've got a lot of shirts behind me on the wall, which you'll see over the Cravo videos, and I've got one currently sat next to me that needs to be sorted out to be framed. And I've got a few frame shirts yet to go up. Maybe I'll get them up over the next few weeks on the other side of my wall. Anyway, you wouldn't see them on the videos. Kovacic pushing Cole Palmer. Mahrez swings one in from the corner. Attacked here by Akanji. Well caught by Kepa. He looks to send it long quickly, but he can't do. City mark the passes. Out to Kovacic. Mahrez. Good pressing by Riyad Mahrez. And Kovacic can't take it off Rodri. Well done, Mahrez. Walker, go forward. Don't go back to Akanji here. Bernardo Silva. City just playing with it in their own half here. No intensity. Chelsea sort of give up straight away after Kovacic lost that one. Bernardo Silva. Out to Aymeric Laporte. 37 minutes gone here at the Etihad. Laporte. 7-0 is getting close, says Adjun. It just might. Bernardo Silva. Manuel Akanji. City have got Mahrez there. Walker. Oh, lovely feet by Walker past Lewis Hall. Look at the space on the far side for City. Left-hand side is completely open. Switch to Sergio Gomez. Good touch by him. Rodri, little back heel into Gomez. Gomez still, wide to Cole Palmer. Rodri. Rodri the switch to Riyad Mahrez once more. City have got Chelsea on the ropes here. Kyle Walker on the overlap. Walker across the box here. Phil Foden in there. Phil Foden scores. It's 3-0 Manchester City. City are tearing Chelsea apart here. What a goal that was. Oozes class, that goal from Manchester City. Started with Kyle Walker with some brilliant footwork on the right-hand side. Eventually City switch it to the left-hand side where Gomez and Palmer in acres and acres of space. Ziyech wasn't tracking back. He does get back. City a couple of poor touches from Rodri, Gomez and Palmer. But City still somehow managed to play through Chelsea, who just can't get close enough to them. Palmer plays it into Rodri. He gets his head up and sees Mahrez in the switch. Great switch, and Kyle Walker here. Aggressive, wonderful overlapping run, which isn't found by Kovacic. Cutback is to Phil Foden. Kalidou Koulibaly, he's not tight enough to his man. Absolutely nowhere near Phil Foden. Doesn't know where he is, the Senegalese. Who just sort of dangles a leg out on the cross from Kyle Walker. Pulls it back. Foden taps it in. It's 3-0 Manchester City here. And 7, like Adrian says, just might not be too far away. Maybe 7-0 prediction from Adrian. Just might be right. 96% the vote was gone up to now in Manchester City's favour. And City are crushing Chelsea. A long way to go in this game. Chelsea could come out a different team in the second half, and so could Manchester City. But at the moment, City are looking confident. I expect Rodri to come off at half-time. I'd get Calvin Phillips on now. That's what I'd do at half-time. Get him some game time with 3-0 up. Mason Mount is a ghost for Chelsea, just like he is for England. Graham Potter, he's got to be under immense pressure now as Chelsea manager. New signing for Fana on the bench. Jack Wilson's got some football shirts from 1988. Century-winning Celtic top and a Scotland World Cup top from 1994. They are some very classical shirts, Jack. Behind me, I actually have a Radamel Falcao shirt. Oh, hang on, Chelsea in the attack here. Chalobah, run it City. Palmer good defending. Cole Palmer clears it away in the right foot. Only as far as Lewis Hall, though. It's poor. Hall can't control it. Chelsea go back. I've got a Radamel Falcao shirt from a game where he scored a hat-trick. Oh, 4 or 5 goals, actually, for Atletico Madrid in La Liga. Lewis Hall, good play. Conor Gallagher out right to Chalobah. Chalobah wide to Ziyech. Hakim Ziyech. Trying to take on Sergio Gomez. Passed him with absolute ease. Back to Chalobah. Chelsea attacking for the first time in this game. Yet to have a shot on goal yet. And again, they go back to Koulibaly. Chelsea can't do it. I've also got a Mario Balotelli shirt behind me from the game against Norwich where he scored that little shoulder into the back of the net. I've got a Samir Nasri Arsenal shirt from the 2-1 win he scored in against Manchester United. Ezekiel Lavezzi in his Manchester City's Champions League debut at home, where Napoli went on to draw 1-1 with Manchester City. And a Wesley Sneijder shirt from a game against Bayern Munich, where Inter Milan were to beat Bayern Munich, knock them out of the Champions League. I've also got an Edinson Cavani shirt on the floor here. I've got a Sergio Aguero shirt from a game where he scored a wonderful overhead kick for Atletico Madrid. And I also have a Cristiano Ronaldo shirt from a World Cup game for Portugal against Ghana. And I've currently got in the making, just sitting here ready to be sorted out, an Isco shirt from Malaga's 2-1 win in 2012 over FC Porto in the Champions League. Some interesting ones there for you. Here's Chelsea on the attack now. Hakim Ziyech has turned up against Laporte, makes a good challenge. Rodri in there as well combined. Sergio Gomez could step in, but he's been spun here, Gomez. Poor defending. Mason Mount. Ziyech, Rodri across. Kovacic, and he's tackled by Alvarez getting back. Laporte, he's punched in the face by a Chelsea player. The referee gives a free kick City's way here. Much the frustration of Hakim Ziyech. And holding his face is Aymeric Laporte, and he might want a bit of treatment here. Apparently not. Apparently not. He's going to be okay. I can't see quite what's happened here. Conor Gallagher stretched his arm out. The elbow catches the side of Laporte. Catches the side of Laporte and puts it down. Adji's got many shirts. Yeah, I've got loads of shirts as well, Adji. These are just frame shirts. They're behind me on the wall in frames and so on. I'd love to get them signed if I could do. Take some tracking down, find all the players. Take some tracking down. Here's Bernardo Silva for Manchester City. Akanji. City have put in a wonderful performance here so far, haven't they? In the FA Cup. beating Chelsea with absolute ease. Graham Potter's got it wrong again. Bernardo Silva. Manuel Akanji. Can City make it 4 here? Out to Kyle Walker. Mahrez. Under pressure. Akanji. Rodri. I think the only issue City have is if they bring a lot of substitutions at half-time, they could really crush the momentum they've got. Laporte, what a ball in behind to Gomez. He's got to play it across the box here. Decides not to. Into Phil Foden. Foden pulls it back, does he? Poor cut back by Foden, intercepted by Gallagher. City continue to press and Jorginho clears it up to Palmer. Down to Gomez. Gomez! Ooh, big challenge in the box there by Jorginho. And Rodri beats Kai Havertz to it. Back to Laporte, City back in possession. I think Gomez there could have gone down in the box. If he got his foot to it ahead of Kovacic and gone down, maybe it could have been another penalty Manchester City's way. Rodri with a switch out to Kyle Walker. On the head of Kyle Walker. Akanji. Chelsea seem very too easy to unlock at the moment. Much too easy for Manchester City. Akanji. Walker. Manuel Akanji again. Walker once more. Akanji again. Walker again. Akanji and Walker's playing little 1-2s between them. City just toying with Chelsea now. Frustrating them. Adrian says Ziyech should leave Chelsea. I think he should have left Chelsea a long time ago. Although to be fair to him, he hasn't played very well at Chelsea, has he? That's all. I mean, as a player watching this, a player that could sign for Chelsea, you're thinking, I don't want to sign there. Rodri, under pressure from Gallagher, leaves a late footing on Rodri. Great play by Rodri. Bernardo Silva, round the corner to Alvarez, who wasn't expecting that one. Little back heel by Havertz, and City intercepts, and he's Julian Alvarez. And Alvarez one-on-one with Humphries here. Alvarez. Wide to Cole Palmer. Palmer's got Mahrez with him. Palmer into Mahrez. Mahrez into the box here. Just over the top of Julian Alvarez, who can't make it 4-0. Isaac says he's changing to 4-0, 5-0, 5-1, 6-1. That's a few different predictions there. 6-0 maybe. Adrian saying it's definitely 7-0. Chelsea play it poorly. Jorginho miscontrols it, corner City. Could have made it 4 there. Alvarez is just inches away from getting on the end of the Riyad Mahrez cross. Maybe it's a bit too heavy from Mahrez. Corner for City, Mahrez across to it. Chelsea look really bad. Mahrez short into Bernardo Silva. Bernardo. Foden. Head up. Clips one in. It's a terrible cross by Foden. Right into the hands of Kepa Arrizabalaga. Really bad cross by Phil Foden. 2 minutes of added time here. 45 already played. Chalobah. Across the box to Kalidou Koulibaly. Switch of play. Chalobah under pressure from Cole Palmer. Rodri again is there to intercept. Brilliant. Bernardo Silva. Ziyech has come out to his left-hand side. Chelsea look like they're a lost cause, really. They don't even look like they're worrying about playing football. Adjin's going to jump through the first floor. I think you might still get an injury there, Adjin. Foden. Palmer. Laporte. Rodri on the centre circle. Mahrez. City very, very relaxed now in possession and the way they play. Rodri, Laporte. Gomez in acres of space. I don't know why no one's pressing him. Tactically, they've got it wrong, Chelsea. Sergio Gomez. Palmer. Second to everything called Palmer, isn't he? Laporte. Rolls the ball with his studs once or twice now. Lays it back into Rodri behind him. Rodri plays into the midfield to Mahrez. He's got a bit of a chance to run it. Leicester, it's for Chelsea here. Mahrez, bad pass by Mahrez into Walker. And then fouls Lewis Horn. That was a frustration challenge from Mahrez. He's got to do better with the pass there. Had to find Walker, couldn't do. Tries to play it very close to Hall so that Walker is pretty much on goal when he gets there. Here is Koulibaly. Cross to Humphries. Chalobah. Down the line to Ziyech, and that is half-time. Manchester City 3, Chelsea 0. City stroll into the next knockout round, the fourth round of the FA Cup, quite possibly. It's only half-time. Still another 45 minutes or so to play in this tie. But City lead Chelsea by 4-0. And look, just far the better side. Chelsea don't look like they've got anything in them yet to have a shot on goal, Chelsea, at all. Kai Havertz give away a penalty that Julian Alvarez converted to make it 2-0. Kyle Walker with a lovely overlapping run. And a cut back to Phil Foden to make it 3-0. And the opener was a goal from Riyad Mahrez. A lovely curled left-footed free kick into the top corner. City 3, Chelsea 0 at half-time. I'm going to have a little break over half-time. I will be back for the second half for City versus Chelsea. I'll see you guys very shortly.
Got enough of every melody, they all sound the same. Yeah, for my broken heart, no remedy, but maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. How do you do? 'Cause I'm feeling so good. Memories now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. We can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. Cause I'm feeling so good.
talking, I'm so quick to hit ignore. Buku bitches in my bed, I got scales all on my floor. I got money on the line, plus I'm clocking it below. I got bitches kissing bitches, all them bitches go explore. I'm feeling way up, I stay up. Put your bitch on my Snapchat, while I make her. She want a chance with me, cause she know I'm a rapper. I give a but I never get feelings, cause shawty, I know what you after. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. Watch I look, I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my putting. Put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a poopy, your bitch get tookin'. I'm not the type to go fuck with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some fish. Oh, youngin' trapping out the bando. From the ceiling fan to the damn floor. Trying to stack my money.
Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel. Manchester City versus Chelsea, half-time, City 3, Chelsea 0. An interesting comment here down below, which I think shows really how good City have been. Max363 says, or 353 says, I wonder what would happen if De Bruyne and Haaland was playing. Well, Chelsea would be in big trouble, wouldn't they? I've just been listening to what Julien Laurent had to say, and also Frank Leboeuf on ESPN, and they are not happy at all with Chelsea. Frank Leboeuf has also, he said that, like, Chelsea, the way he described Chelsea is shameful. Chelsea have been shameful, and I think he's right. They have been shameful, Chelsea, haven't they? They've not shown any fight. I mean, Jorginho has been terrible for them. Kai Havertz has been terrible. But for City, City have been good. I think barring Cole Palmer, who I think just doesn't do it for me. I think his decision making and his final products just aren't there. I don't personally think Palmer's going to make it at Manchester City. I really don't. And I want him to prove me wrong, but at the moment, he's not looking like it, is he? Chelsea have been destroyed by everyone else. Everyone else in the field, Manchester City, just so good compared to them. I think Chelsea cannot do anything to stop City at the moment. And they're not even trying to stop City, which obviously is a bit of an issue. But they're not even trying. James has won a goal from Mahrez yet. Incredible, Jaden, wasn't it? Free kick. And then Mahrez instrumental in the third goal as well. You know, he passed it through to Walker, a pre-assist as they call it. Played it behind to Kyle Walker, who cut it back to Phil Foden. I mean, the penalty was a pretty... it's a freak one, isn't it, really? It's just the one that you think, what is Kai Havertz doing? What is Kai Havertz doing there? Why is he throwing his fist at that? I don't think anyone can understand why Kai Havertz is throwing his fist at that and letting Laporte score. It's nonsensical. And I think by the sounds of it, Chelsea, there's a big overhaul coming at Chelsea because City are destroying him. Jaden thinks 9-0. I don't think 9, Jaden. I think if City maybe had 5 at half-time, you could say 9-0 is possible. I think Chelsea have got to come out in the second half and push at City now. And they certainly will. But I don't think with someone like Cole Palmer in the field, City are going to be clinical on the counter. Because I think Cole Palmer is incredibly wasteful. And I think his decision-making is incredibly poor. And that will cost City in the end on those counter-attacks. I think 4-1, personally. I do think Chelsea will show something in the second half and get a goal. I think for Chelsea's sake, you hope that. Because I just can't expect... You just don't expect a Chelsea side to be that poor. Chelsea fans who've travelled up to Manchester must be absolutely livid with the performance of their team. Mason Mount has just been it's just a ghost, Mason Mount, but he is regularly. I do not rate Mason out at all. 2 Mahrez hat-tricks apparently. He's on the predictions. Substitution for Chelsea. And Dennis Zakaria is coming on here. And so is new signing Fofana. Youngster who came from Mulder. Fofana comes on up top for Chelsea. Alongside Dennis Zakaria. Leaving the field, number 27, not sure who that is, for Chelsea. Arjun says, well, if there were stories that City did the wrong thing by keeping Mahrez and selling Sterling Jesus, what do you think about that? I don't think City did the wrong thing selling Jesus and Sterling. I think they did the wrong thing selling Jesus to Arsenal. They shouldn't have sold him to Arsenal. But other than that, they didn't exactly do the wrong thing. I think those two players had to go. They had to go. So Zakaria is on. Fofana is on. Is it Kai Havertz off? I'm not quite sure. You think it'd show you on the graphics, wouldn't it? But it's yet to show me. They're getting ready for the second half. Alvarez will take the kick-off for Manchester City. City versus Chelsea. Another 45 minutes of action is underway. It looks like Chelsea have gone two up top. So Kai Havertz, I think, is off for Fofana. Denis Zakaria is on for someone else. Mark Hewitt says, agree, Jace wasn't good enough, but you still can't sell him to a team like Arsenal. Exactly. Exactly. I don't think they should have sold Jesus to Arsenal. We basically strengthen. I mean, if Arsenal win the league, we've paid them to do it, really, haven't we? We've said to him, here you go. It's Mateo Kovacic who's come off. And so has Kai Havertz. So Kovacic and Havertz off for Fofana on. And so is the midfielder Denis Zakaria, who played really well against City the other day, didn't he? So Denis Zakaria on. I think Jay should have stayed as our owner or assistant manager, says Jay. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I just don't want Jay. I just didn't want Jesus at Arsenal, really. I didn't want Zinchenko to go either. As if like we decided that we're going to sign Cucurella, so we'll sell Zinchenko to sign Cucurella, then never sign him and just end up with no left back. That is poor planning for Manchester City. Really poor planning. This idea that we've got to sell before we buy didn't work at all, did it? Maybe Jesus wanted to stay in England. Yeah, he did. Jesus wanted to go to Arsenal. But I don't care what Jesus wanted. City are in control. They say, well, you can stay at the club and sit on the bench. Or, you can join, Inter Milan or AC Milan or Real Madrid. Someone abroad. Real Madrid are interested. I just don't think they could sign him because of the EU quota. Here is Rodri for Manchester City. Rodri, Laporte. Hopefully City are even better. I love Zinchenko is better than Gomez. Yeah, it's not hard. I don't think it's hard to be better than him. I don't rate Gomez and I don't rate Cole Palmer either. I think they're both not very good. This left-hand side for City is really bad. Palmer. Alvarez. Good play. Into Bernardo Silva. Here's Kyle Walker. I mean, if Arsenal win the league, Jesus and Zinchenko will have 3 Premier League titles in a row. That's amazing, isn't it, really? Zinchenko was great. Here is Palmer. Jack Wilson says, Zinchenko played with so much passion. Exactly. I loved him. I thought he was brilliant. And he's better than what we've got now, isn't he? Let's be honest. Better than Gomez. Laporte, switch a play out to Riyad Mahrez is brilliant. Mahrez touched it into... Oh, it was actually Walker who touched it into Mahrez. Rodri finds himself in a central area. Clips it back out to Laporte, who keeps the move alive by running onto it and giving it to Gomez. Rodri. City will regret selling Zinchenko if we can't get a left back again in the summer. Certainly. Palmer. Nice touch on his left foot. Akanji. Bernardo Silva. Mahrez. Palmer's dropped into a more central role here. Plays a ball in behind to Gomez, who's an absolute country mile offside. Clear as day to see that he's offside there. Why can't Palmer see that? Why can't Sergio Gomez see that? I don't know. Offside. Left-hand side is weak for City. Conor Gallagher seems to be at right back again. Or on right. He started playing right wing in a 4-4-2 and took it in when needed. Chalobah. Back to goalkeeper Kepa. Who nearly saved the penalty. Didn't he? From Alvarez. But his arms weren't strong enough. The season where he made it to the Champions League final, Zinchenko was so good. He was, wasn't he? And then he made the mistake in the Champions League final, didn't he? That cost us. He stepped up and it cost City. Chelsea have got a lot to do here, 3-0 down. I think they'll be better in the second half. They surely can't get any worse. Mason Mount. Tackled by Bernardo Silva. And a free kick goes Chelsea's way. Bernardo Silva reaching round Mason Mount there to take him out. Would love to leave Arsenal Premier League if we win the Champions League. Yeah, if we win the Champions League, I don't mind if Arsenal win the Premier League. Koulibaly. Out to Chalobah on this right-hand side. Gallagher. Back to Chalobah. And long by Kepa under pressure from Alvarez. Laporte with time and space takes it on his chest brilliantly and lifts it back into the forward line. All the way through to Kepa Arrizabalaga. If you were Pepe, would you sign, says Jaden? I'd say that City need 3 players in the summer. A central midfielder, a winger, a wide player, and a left back. Those are the 3 players I would sign. Lewis Hall. Humphries seems to have gone to the left-hand side of the defence now. There's a back 3. Humphries, Chalobah and Koulibaly in there. Good ball by Kepa into Mason Mount. Bypasses the City midfield and press. Mount into Hall. Back he goes to Julian Alvarez in the end. Poor pass. Alvarez running at Chalobah. Julian. Good options into Mahrez. Here's Riyad Mahrez. Chelsea poor pass. Mahrez in behind to Cole Palmer. Zakaria did well. And Zakaria watching behind for a goal kick. Cole Palmer, not so good. Agent says you can't really find a superstar at left back, possibly. Jet Wilson says Arsenal is definitely my favourite rival team. Yeah, I don't mind Arsenal, really. Conor Gallagher. Oh, he did well to get past Cole Palmer there. A weak footing thrown by Cole. Maybe just got lucky in the end. Here's Humphries up the left-hand side for Chelsea. Trying to drive forward the ball. Here's Humphries. Hall. Humphries again. Koulibaly. Chelsea have had a lot of possession this second half so far. Switch away by Kalidou Koulibaly out to Conor Gallagher. It's straight out for a throw, and it's a shocking pass by Kalidou Koulibaly, who looks a complete flop for Chelsea. And you've got to thank that City didn't sign him. Thank you, Napoli for being so harsh on us that we couldn't sign him in the end. Sign Ruben Diaz. I'm glad we got Diaz, a younger player. And Kalidou Koulibaly, who looks absolutely finished. Aymeric Laporte. Back he goes to Ortega. Looking for options here, Stefan Ortega. In the middle of the 2 defenders. Bernardo Silva runs short. Ortega into Mahrez. Back to Bernardo. Back to Ortega. Chelsea press. Ortega calmly out to the winger. Walker couldn't find him. Akanji, great play by Akanji. Phil Foden skips past the challenger Jorginho, who fouls him and kicks the ball away. Jorginho, who's terrible. He's another one I'm glad we never signed from Napoli. Koulibaly and Jorginho, 2 absolute flops that City wanted and couldn't sign. And I'm glad we never got Jorginho. He's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Imagine we didn't have Rodri and we had Jorginho. Crazy. Palmer. Rodri. Goes wide to Kyle Walker overlapping, is it? Walker. Here is Phil Foden. Walker again. Walker flicks it past Lewis Hall. Stronger than Hall. Walker still. Foden. Bernardo Silva. Space on that left-hand side for City now. Aymeric Laporte. City playing very much 2 at the back, and Mahrez and everyone's playing very narrow. It's the fullbacks holding the width. And back to Ortega goes Laporte. Mahrez on this left-hand side now. In this little channel of space. Not where we usually see Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez picks the ball up. Bernardo Silva. Rodri. Akanji. Rodri unhappy with the late challenge on him by Mason Mount, who is the captain in the Premier League 2023 is Ilkay Gundogan. I always felt like Arsenal were relying romance between City and Arsenal. Signed so many players from yet. Adebayor came in from Arsenal. Oh, good ball over top here to Sergio Gomez. Nice touch by him to get it away from Gallagher, who makes the challenge on Gomez, and Chelsea get it back. Poor by Gomez again. Mason Mount. What a challenge by Rodri. No, it's a foul on Mason Mount. Mason Mount wants a little bit of a shoving match with Rodri, and Rodri will give it him back. And a yellow card for Rodri now. For the push on Mason Mount. Well, the tackle was a little bit late. He tried to win the ball. Did he even touch Mason Mount there, Rodri? Mason Mount gets up and tries to square up to Rodri. I mean, Rodri had absolutely flattered him. Mount here. I don't know. Don't know what Mount's problem is. Conor Gallagher to take the free kick for Chelsea. Hakim Ziyech there also. Played it quickly in behind City's defence up against Sergio Gomez. It's a shot on target, is it, for Chelsea? It's a shot on goal. It deflects wide, but it's the first shot of the game. The first shot by Chelsea comes in the 54th minute. And it bobbles past Ortega's post after a block from Sergio Gomez. Ortega was diving. And I think he even saved that, Ortega. I think he even tips that round the post. Great save by the German. Corner for Chelsea. They play it short. Gallagher. Little layoff finds Hakim Ziyech. Across the box here. And Zakari nearly sends it out for a goal kick. Alvarez could win back. Forward. A late one by Conor Gallagher and Julian Alvarez. Phil Foden watching the bounce here. And Lewis Hall's going to have to go back to Kepa and Ethan Balaga, who Phil Foden chases down. Got Chalobah on the right hand side here. Kepa looks long. Headed away. Why are you so surprised they get a shot? They've been terrible, Mark. They have been absolutely terrible. Rodri. Walker. Back into Rodri. Back into Walker again. Looking to run Lewis Hall there, Kyle Walker. His pace causing a problem for Chelsea. He's the captain. Lewis Hall, quite a good technical footballer actually. But pace-wise, he's nothing near the level of Kyle Walker, is he? Not many are. Rodri outside the boot, passing to Aymeric Laporte. Head up from Laporte as he looks for options. Short to Rodri. Rodri. Into Mahrez. Nice find by Rodri. Kyle Walker on this right hand side. Walker looking to run Lewis Hall. Kicks it straight into him. And behind for the throw-in. But Lewis Hall is getting a lot of trouble caused to him by Kyle Walker. Walker down the throw-in. Alvarez drops deep to try and receive it. Into Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez. Little flick over Hall's boot. Walker. Back into Mahrez. Lewis Hall lumps it away. Hakim Ziyech. Handball, say City. Referee says play on. All the way back to Humphries and he goes back to Kepa. Chalobah under pressure from Palmer. Chalobah. Can't beat Palmer. Chalobah clears it away on the left foot. Straight into Bernardo Silva on the chest and down to Rodri. Rodri loses out to Conor Gallagher. Rodri can't make the challenge. He's on a yellow card. Chelsea get it back. Zakaria. Chalobah, nice switch of play to Humphries. Chelsea playing well. Much better in the second half from Chelsea. Making runs and trying to get behind City's defences for Fofana. New signing. The number 27. Fofana. Hall. Back he goes to Humphries. Chelsea had a lot of the ball. They've had one shot, which is for their standards at the moment pretty good. Joao Cancelo and Calvin Phillips are coming on for Manchester City. Zakaria. Tackled by Laporte. And it's going to be the changes now, is it, for Pep Guardiola's side? Good to see Laporte back from his injury. So Joao Cancelo comes on. And Calvin Phillips. So Rodri is the man leaving the field. Playing a lot of football, at least Rodri. And off he comes now for Calvin Phillips. Who's the ref today, Sajin? I don't know him. Is he called Page? Something Page? Something like that. He's one of the younger referees, I think, that we see in the Championship. And the other substitution is Sergio Gomez, which is probably the right one. Off comes the Spaniard for Joao Cancelo on this left-hand side. So Cancelo back at left-back, where it feels like I've not seen him there for a long while. And Calvin Phillips, bit of football for Manchester City again. He's going to start that game against Southampton, apparently. That's what's being said anyway. Gallagher on the throw for Chelsea. Page, what book is he in, says Jaden. That is some pretty classic comedy there, Jaden. This is what happened in the Carabao Cup. City were winning. Chelsea had a lot of the ball, but just didn't do anything with it. Says Jack, yeah. I mean, some of you were saying 7-0. I just didn't see City coming out the same side in the second half, and they're certainly not. Maybe with Cancelo on now, we will be. Here's Cancelo. Laporte. Calvin Phillips dropping into a roll, trying to offer Laporte a chance at a pass. Aymeric Laporte. Bernardo. Phillips. And then straight to the back of Calvin Phillips comes Mason Mount. City play on. That's a nasty one by Mason Mount. Chelsea love a late challenge, don't they, it seems. Riyad Mahrez now on this right-hand side. Kyle Walker. Back to Mahrez. Bernardo Silva. Akanji. Cole Palmer. João Cancelo. First touch of the ball for the Portuguese. Calvin Phillips. Nice switch of play out to Walker. His passing range is something you can really enjoy, isn't it? Kyle Walker went in behind then. Maris couldn't find it. Calvin Phillips, a lovely switch of play earlier on. Gallagher, back to Chalobah. Back to Kepa. Kepa across his box to Humphreys. The youngsters played pretty well. I suppose on the ball, off the ball, his defensive ability has not been helped by maybe Koulibaly alongside him, who's not been great at all for Chelsea, the experienced man at the back. Lewis Hall. Koulibaly. Kepa Arrizabalaga. Chalobah. Chelsea working back to this right-hand side of the defence. Chalobah into the middle. And Laporte beats Ziyech to it, does he? Yes, Ziyech has gone down again. Just complaining of a foul, which there's nothing in. And Laporte into Calvin Phillips. Phillips. Akanji. I think Phillips has got a really good passing range. I think that is something we haven't really been able to appreciate in his time at Manchester City so far, since he's played, 4 Premier League minutes. Akanji. Laporte. And back he goes to Ortega. Chelsea going to make some substitutions. Amari Hutchinson is going to come on. The number 56, the youngster signed from Arsenal. Came on against City in the previous game. Did okay. Ball behind to Phil Foden. And it's going all the way out for a throw-in. And Humphreys throws it down to Kepa. Chelsea have really took the sting out of the game now. I think they're thinking, well, maybe we can get 1 or 2 goals back, perhaps. But let's just not make any more mistakes at the back and not be as open at the back. Ball forward here for Fana, who looks strong, and Akanji deals with him. And they want a free kick here. Chelsea not going to get one. Akanji very tight too for Fana there. Give him a physical battle he wanted when he gave it him. Riyad Mahrez. Bernardo Silva. Back to Mahrez. Behind to Walker here. Oh, he's beating Humphreys to it, Walker. Mahrez. Out to João Cancelo on this left-hand side. João on the chest. Flicks it over the head of Conor Gallagher. Goes straight into the side of João Cancelo. It's a free kick. All the Ajax Wonder Boys that were one season, they're good. They are not so good now. That's very true. Mark, Frankie de Jong has not been the player who was at Ajax. I suppose Matthijs de Ligt ended up going to Bayern Munich because he wasn't into Juventus, was he? Ziyech, another one. Who was it? David Neres. He's at Benfica now. His career hasn't worked out as it's expected, has it? It just didn't work out for Ajax, did it? You know, those players look good in that team, but Donny van de Beek, another one at Manchester United, not made it there. There's plenty of them, isn't there? Aspilicueta, he's coming on for Chelsea. Off comes Jorginho. And Amari Hutchinson is on. I think perhaps for Hakim Ziyech. Yep, so Jorginho and Ziyech off. And on comes Amari Hutchinson and Cesar Aspilicueta. Crossing by Foden to the far post here. Koulibaly knocks it away. From an on-arriving in Laporte. Mahrez. Palmer. Palmer still. Back he goes to Bernardo Silva. He's playing pretty much like a centre-back today at times. Bernardo. Mahrez. Kanji makes a running behind. Mahrez goes back to Bernardo. And Bernardo brings it over the halfway line, does he? Nope. He'll pass it over to João Cancelo on this left-hand side. Cancelo back to Laporte. Aspilicueta marking them tightly. Being aggressive. Akanji. Walker. City now having a bit of possession for the first time of this second half. 3-0 up City. Don't have to push. They don't need to. Especially the way Chelsea are playing. Cancelo. And another late one on João Cancelo by Cesar Aspilicueta. That's number 2 by Cesar Aspilicueta. The referee told him he's got his card marked. Walker over the head of Lewis Hall. Back to Kyle Walker here. Humphreys beats him to it. And Walker physically outdoes him there. It's a free kick the other way. For Kyle Walker just being stronger than the youngster Humphreys. The captain's not too happy with it. Chelsea look very disappointed. Botticelli looks absolutely dumb, doesn't he, on the bench? He's not even played a game for Chelsea yet. Laporte into Cole Palmer, who's got the worst first touch in the world, and gives it away. He's terrible, Palmer. I don't think he's City level, is he? Seen it time and time again with his opportunities. He's not showing it, is he? And the problem with young players is they have one good season and they hype them up too much. Yeah, you can't really say a player is going to be the next big thing after one good season, can you? Certainly can't. You've got to do it consistently. That's the difference between the good players and the absolutely great players. Paul Pogba might have had the same ability as Kevin De Bruyne, as they so claim, but he did it one in every 15 games, and that's why he wasn't not the same career. Here's Chalobah, under pressure from Cancelo, round Cancelo, too easy. Phillips goes to tackle. Chelsea play out well for Fana. Pass to Mari Hutchinson, and Laporte goes in for a tackle, wins the ball, and it's a throw-in to Chelsea. Laporte thought it came off the feet of Fofana as he made that challenge. From Ivory Coast, is he Fofana, I think? Spilicueta. Into Fofana. Got two on him here. One back by Cancelo. And Cancelo just floors. He's been floored by Fofana. Referee says no, free kick. Laporte away. Zakaria. Phil Foden in there. Conor Gallagher on the edge of the box here. Out to Lewis Hall. Hall. Gallagher. Tries to shoot. Pocket pick by Riyad Mahrez. Counter City. Mahrez. Plays it in behind to Julian Alvarez, who's on one-on-one with Kalidou Koulibaly. Julian Alvarez. No one up there with him. Waits for options to arrive in Cole Palmer. Palmer into Calvin Phillips. Phillips across to Kyle Walker. Palmer needs a good loan move. I think really, McAtee could have stayed and Palmer gone out on loan. Although Palmer is being played out of position, but he's not even impressing there, is he? He's not even doing the simple things well. Phillips. Alvarez. Back to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo under pressure. Akanji. Into Phillips. Takes his time, Calvin Phillips, and just dribbles it away brilliantly. Takes the sting out of that, Phillips. Wide to Cancelo. Laporte. Back to Ortega by City. Not been the exciting first half that it was. Mahrez is playing like on the left-hand side here. I just don't understand this formation. What was working in the first half, we're not doing in the second half. Phillips drops in to allow him to be found with the ball by Aymeric Laporte. Akanji. Back to Laporte. Pressure from Azpilicueta. Laporte goes back to goalkeeper Ortega. And back into Laporte again. Azpilicueta is pressing very highly for Chelsea. City can just find a way round them. With big problems. Laporte. Switch a play to Phil Foden. On the chest of Phil Foden. Walker. In behind goes Julian Alvarez. Chase with Koulibaly, just can't get there. And back to Kepa. Kepa. Azpilicueta. Intercepted by Calvin Phillips, and City win it back and applauds. Does Pep Guardiola on the sidelines at Calvin Phillips going winning that back for Manchester City. Akanji. Mahrez. Cancelo. Needs to win in a wide area. Cancelo into Palmer. Palmer. Back to Cancelo. Cancelo again. Passing to Palmer, who's gone the wrong side of it. And they give it straight back to Cancelo. Phil Foden. Wide to Kyle Walker arriving. Bernardo Silva. Back to Calvin Phillips. Mahrez in this left-hand side. Riyad Mahrez. Cancelo. Phillips. City had a chance there to maybe attack them, but didn't do. Foden, Phillips. Phillips happy to take a little bump from Amari Hutchinson. A man of his physicality and his weight. It doesn't matter. Phillips. Foden. Laporte. Foden. Laporte. Phillips. City just knocking it in a little triangle here. Phillips looks long for Riyad Mahrez. Great ball, is it into Mahrez? Just a long leg of Denis Zakaria intercepts it. And Koulibaly. Across to Humphreys. Long by Humphreys into a channel to Fofana, who gets there. But can't beat Akanji. It's a throw into City, is it? Or a throw into Chelsea? Referee decides. Throw into Chelsea. He's done okay for Fofana for Chelsea. He's come on and held the ball up, hasn't he? The new signing for them. I think Calvin Phillips looked pretty good since he's come on as well. He's quite a strong player, Phillips. Physical. Likes a pass. Likes a big challenge as well. Seen that in his time at Leeds. Kepa. Switched out to Hall. 70 minutes gone. The game has flown by in this second half, really. Back go Chelsea to Kepa. Chelsea have just taken the sting out of the game, really, Chelsea, and sort of accepted they're going to lose this one and just put in a better performance in the second half. I think that's maybe what Graham Potter said. We'll just put in a performance in the second half to show that we are decent. Or given away by Koulibaly to Phillips, but he couldn't control it. Azpilicueta came from behind him quickly to win it back for Chelsea. Humphreys. Kepa, nice ball into Conor Gallagher, who bursts away from Bernardo Silva, who slides and then gives a good kick on Conor Gallagher for a yellow card, which I don't think he's very bothered by, Bernardo Silva. The free kick's taken nowhere near where it was, but the referee lets them take it quickly. Azpilicueta. Then behind to Hutchinson, it's over hit and it's behind for a goal kick. And City can start again. I think Bernardo Silva purposely went and got a yellow card. I think City have seen Conor Gallagher make quite a few late challenges. Ashton says, what type of movies do you like? Comedy, drama, horror, action? I like sort of drama thrillers. That's my sort of thing, Ajin. Drama thrillers. They're what I like to watch. Kenny Chukwuemeka impressed and hit the post in the game in the Premier League in midweek. He's going to come on now for Chelsea. See if he can inject a bit of life into Chelsea attack. Ball by Ortega to Alvarez, who managed to keep it in nearly. In the end, it goes out of play. Just couldn't get his foot in after he controlled it. So throwing for Chelsea. Chelsea take the time with it. Mason Mount could be the man who's coming off here for Chukwuemeka. Lewis Hall. Gallagher. Humphreys. Long ball forward. Into the path of Calvin Phillips. No, it's Laporte who wins it back. Bernardo Silva. Mahrez. Phillips. Palmer. No idea what to do when he gets the ball, Cole Palmer. Cancelo. Phillips. Laporte. Looking for options. Calvin Phillips. Switch of play by Phillips to Walker is absolutely immense. His passing range is wonderful. Walker. Bernardo. Palmer in space here. Mahrez. Phillips. Into Cole Palmer. Turns on his left foot. Back to Calvin Phillips. Laporte. Back into Phillips. Goes and makes the challenge and keeps it. Great play by Phillips. Cancelo. Into Cole Palmer. Nice ball by Joao Cancelo. Cole Palmer. Finds Bernardo Silva. Riyad Mahrez. City with a chance here. Mahrez onto that left foot. Mahrez opens it up. Mahrez with a hit. And oh, it bounces just next to the post. Kepa didn't even dive for that one. Just expected it to hit the back of the net. Bernardo into Mahrez. After a good play by City, Phillips won it back. And it bounces right next to the far post. City thought they'd scored again there. Mason Mount, the ghost, comes off for Chukwuemeka. Can he have a more impact than Mason Mount? Well, all he's got to do is touch the ball a few times, and he has. Mason Mount non-existent on the field today for Chelsea. As he always is for England and Chelsea. Who rates him? I don't know, but they must do. Because he keeps playing football. Koulibaly. Looks to send it long on the left foot. Ends up sending it long with the right foot. Over to Cesar Azpilicueta. What a ball by Kalidou Koulibaly. He's unlocked City's defence here. Azpilicueta. Options. Laporte slips. Out to Amari Hutchinson. Shoots Amari Hutchinson and drags it wide of the far post along the deck. A goal kick for Manchester City. I always loved war action, but I'm not that film guy, says Ajin. You know what? I just don't like war films, Ajin. Never liked war films. Never could get into them at all. Any war film, I just avoid it. Just don't watch it at all. Never watch them. Goal kick for City at 73 minutes. Well, the second half seems to have flown by pretty quickly. Not much has happened, particularly. I think the 7-0 is certainly not on anymore, Ajin. Stefan Ortega. And he looks long, Ortega. And boy, does he send it long, but too far for Mahrez and all the way through to Kepa. Humphreys. Zakaria turns. Danny Zakaria back to Humphreys. Chelsea are a dull side, aren't they? Nothing exciting about them at the moment. Oh, bad pass here to Alvarez. Can he beat Humphreys to it nearly? Foden pressing Kepa as well. City don't give up on this one, perhaps. Humphreys. Can't go to Kepa. Goes into Lewis Hall. Humphreys. Long. And won by Laporte and out for a throw-in by Laporte. Couldn't get his foot round it there, his right foot to clear it upwards. I'm not sure if the Chelsea or City fans they show in here. And the big banner. Still chancing. Chelsea fans, if it is them, that despite being 3-0 down and the performance they put in. Kepa. Humphreys. Kepa. Koulibaly. Back to Kepa again. Chelsea just... They suck all the life out of a game, don't they, Chelsea? My word. Anything exciting, they'll take it away. Kepa out to Chalobah. Chalobah. Pressing by Cole Palmer. Koulibaly. Chalobah once more. Palmer still trying to close them down. My 7-0 wish died, Sajin. It certainly did, didn't it? It died when Chelsea just didn't keep it going, did they? Their poor performance, that is. They've just decided to come out second half Chelsea and pass it around the back and make sure the less the ball City have, the more chance they have of not conceding goals. And that's what they've done in the second half, certainly. Laporte nodded down to Ortega. Cleverly and calmly done by Manchester City. Calvin Phillips turns. Laporte. Back to Ortega. Bernardo Silva. Laporte, well played City. Laporte into Cancelo. Outside the boots. Swing round the corner into Julian Alvarez, who gets there and then he's fouled by Gallagher. Referee says no. Pretty robust, Alvarez. He seems to take a few bumps and still get up and be okay with that because they'll look a late one on him. He's a fighter, a little warrior from Argentina, which they tend to be. Falling behind City here to Amari Hutchinson. Laporte's trying to get there. Good little switch by Hutchinson, his left foot. And then tries to switch it to Ani Chukwuemeka. And his final ball certainly isn't there. And that was Chelsea's chance. Well, he looks a very raw player, Hutchinson. He's clearly got something about him. But his final ball just isn't there. Decision making isn't there. A bit like Cole Palmer. Here's Zakaria. Koulibaly. Chelsea again work it along the back line. This time into Aspilicueta, who's at right wing back now. Chalobah. Foden pressing. Koulibaly. City still pressing. City want this ball. Chalobah. Aspilicueta. Flicked into Fofana. Pressure on him by Akanji. Fofana gets away from both Akanji and Calvin Phillips here. Fofana's in the box. Hutchinson, can he find him? Onto that left foot, Hutchinson. Chukwuemeka back to Hutchinson. Chance from range. Shot and over the bar. Blocked away by Calvin Phillips on the shot from there. Sakari. Perhaps even Riyad Mahrez. And Manuel Akanji's down here. And looks to be in some pain for Manchester City. Don't know if he took one in the chest, Manuel Akanji. Or was he the man that blocked this shot? Zakaria hits it. It actually hits Manuel Akanji in the... Well, it doesn't hit Manuel Akanji in the chest. I think we can all guess where it hit Manuel Akanji. Right where you don't want to hit you. There's a man right between the legs of Manuel Akanji. Flicks over the bar. Off that said area. But has left Manuel Akanji in a bit of pain now on the floor. So Chelsea have had 2 shots now, 1 on target. 6-8 shots, 6 on target. Akanji limps away in a bit of pain. Conor Gallagher stands over this Chelsea corner. Amari Hutchinson short. Chelsea, big bodies in there. Zakaria, Fofana. Kalidou Koulibaly. Crossing by Conor Gallagher. To the far post. And headed behind by Chalobah. Goal kick for Manchester City. That's poor by Chelsea. Sort of sums them up, really. Although I suppose summing them up with not even having a shot. They've had another shot. They'll take that. They'll be happy with that. That's a stat on Graham Potter's statistics, I suppose. His team has had 4 shots on target. Now with 3 shots on target. Or 3 shots on goal. That wasn't on target. They've had 1 on target. Chelsea fans look pretty disappointed, don't they, really? Look pretty disappointed. Ortega takes the goal kick long. Out to Mahrez. Straight back to Chelsea by Ortega. Not the best of goal kicks. Mahrez not one to be winning headers, is he? Here's Kalidou Koulibaly. Koulibaly skips past a few challenges here. Tries to play a player in and Calvin Phillips intercepts. Walker flicks into Bernardo Silva around the corner to Julian Alvarez. Back out to Riyad Mahrez. Back in behind to Phil Foden here. Good pace by Denis Zakaria, who looks a real top quality player in my eyes. Denis Zakaria really does look like a nice mobile midfielder. Gets around, good on the ball. Yes, he's a bit raw, but we see what it is. Gallagher, tackled by Bernardo Silva. Mahrez. Good little feint here. Beats 2 or 3 players. And City just want to slow the game down and get a bit of possession for themselves, I think. Bernardo Silva. Can we see a goal in this second half? Mahrez. Palmer. Poor by Cole Palmer. Gives it away again to Amari Hutchinson here. Arden says they must be disappointed to have kicked them out of the Carabao Cup and now the FA Cup. Yeah. I suppose they're not even in a title race, are they, Chelsea, down in whichever position they are in the league. I think they're in a very tough position to get top 4, Chelsea. Chukwuemeka. Humphreys. Koulibaly. Chelsea are absolutely dull as anything. Stop passing it back and try and score. They don't seem to want to score. Chelsea smash it in behind. Akanji across to Fofana. It's going to be a foul this time. Too late and Chukwuemeka. They're 10th, I think, says Adjin. Well, some of them are going home already. Or 2 of them have been escorted out by police already. Here's Azpilicueta. Zakaria. Falling behind Azpilicueta and Akanji's there. Tabit says Azpilicueta to it. A kick on him and then Azpilicueta smashes the ball into the stands. Off the hoardings. That's going to be a yellow card for the Spaniard. Or it should be according to the rules. The referee's not giving one. What a joke. Well, that's called dissent. He kicks the legs away from Akanji and then smashed it away. Anyone predict 3-0 to this MK? Quite a few people predicted 3-0, I think. We're hoping for a goal in the second half because it's been a dull second half, really. Tackle here again by Azpilicueta. Another late one now. This time Phil Foden. Just doesn't get a yellow card, does says Azpilicueta. Chelsea fans are being sung at by the City fans here. Backs to the ground. Just taking the time to chant at Chelsea and make fun of the fans. If you score every 2 minutes, 7-0 will happen to Adrian. Well, your mathematics are probably good. So maybe every 2 minutes, but I don't think it's going to happen. Here's Palmer. Laporte. Switch of play. Kyle Walker. Back to Akanji. Akanji. Ortega. Up forward to says Azpilicueta. Joao Cancelo heads it away. Mariucci on this right hand side. Tackle by Joao Cancelo. Waste of time at the moment in this game. Especially because of Chelsea. Very negative. Kyle Walker miscontrols it. Managed to keep it in up to Julian Alvarez, who's done well to hold it up into Manuel Akanji. Down the right hand channel to Riyad Mahrez. City with a chance here. Mahrez 1-on-1 with Kalidou Koulibaly. Riyad Mahrez into Bernardo Silva. City, they get moving here. They've got a great chance here. Cancelo on the overlap. 0-2. Phil Foden taken down the box. It's a penalty to Manchester City. Phil Foden taken down in the box by Kalidou Koulibaly. VAR will check this. Chelsea appeal. Bernardo Silva plays in Foden brilliantly. And Koulibaly just takes the legs of Phil Foden. And it should be. I can't see him overturn this one. Across Phil Foden. Should be a penalty. Referee gives it on the field. Doesn't get the ball. Just kicks the legs of Phil Foden. It's going to be a penalty. Manchester City who can make it 4 here in the second half. Chelsea complain. That's certainly a penalty. Who will take this one? Will it be Julian Alvarez again? Will Riyad Mahrez this time step up and return? Well, Riyad Mahrez is returning to penalty action here. Score from a free kick today. Will he score another penalty here today? He's been taken off penalty duty for now, hasn't he? Erling Haaland and Alvarez ahead of him in the pecking order, but Alvarez not to take a second one. Instead, they're going to give Riyad Mahrez a chance. to score from the spot. Riyad Mahrez against Kepa. A left footer to beat Kepa. Riyad Mahrez hammers it down the middle. And it's 4-0 Manchester City. Cracks it down the middle, does Riyad Mahrez. Tough one to save. Poor by Kalidou Koulibaly. Really poor defending. And on the 85th minute mark, Manchester City have a 4-0 lead over Chelsea, who have been terrible today. Adrian says, I'll go to training after the match, then I'll go out with my friends to hang out and try and find a girlfriend. And the result will be good for happiness. Only 3 more to score, says Adjin. Well, you're certainly an optimist, Adjin. 7-0 still on. Riyad Mahrez stepped up for the penalty and just absolutely leathered it down the middle. Into the roof of the net. That's a risky, risky technique. But Kepa, if he'd stayed down the middle, probably still wouldn't have saved. Good finish by Mahrez. Manchester City 4, Chelsea 0. Well, they've come out here, Chelsea, in the second half not to concede. And in the 85th minute, poor bit defending by Kalidou Koulibaly has given City another chance and a penalty dispatched by Riyad Mahrez this time. Long ball to Fofana, dealt with Akanji. Back to Ortega. Into Phillips, back to Ortega again. And City play out confidently. Chelsea on full court press now, I could say. Rico Lewis is on for Bernardo Silva in the middle. Cancelo into Zakaria. And throw into Manchester City on this far left-hand side. I'll pay Koulibaly to foul Mahrez 3 more times so he can score 3 penalties. Well, the Poznan's back out for the City fans here. Continue to laugh at Chelsea's expense. Cancelo, poor throw in straight to Chalobah. And Zakaria down to Kalidou Koulibaly. It was a poor one by Koulibaly into Riyad Mahrez. Maybe Adjin has paid him. Mahrez! Tackled by Zakaria in the end. Could have passed that Mahrez, but Kalidou Koulibaly is absolutely shocking. Cancelo with a late one and Chalobah. Free kick to Chelsea. They take it quickly. Phillips intercepts and the referee lets them take it again. After that poor one. And a yellow card for Joao Cancelo. His first foul of the game. I just don't get that. Cesar Spilicueta's at about 6 or 7 kicks at us. Cancelo makes 1 clear foul. And that's the way it goes. Well, Mahrez was in then. Mahrez was in, but Zakaria tackles him. And they get it. Adjin wants another penalty. Well, Koulibaly nearly set up Mahrez again there with a terrible pass back. Kepa sends it long. 11 Chelsea fouls to 9 Manchester City ones. Rico Lewis into Calvin Phillips. Back to Rico. To the back of him is Amari Hutchinson. Rico Lewis rides the challenge and goes into Cancelo. And City play on. Advantage play to the referee. It was a nasty one on Rico Lewis. Straight for the back of him. Walker. Akanji. 88 minutes nearly gone now for Manchester City, who look to stroll into the next round of the FA Cup where they will face Arsenal or Oxford at home. Laporte, good ball into Foden. It's Alvarez, good little turn, shimmy by Alvarez. Wide to Kyle Walker. Alvarez getting into the box. Walker up against Hall. Not going to be able to beat him, Kyle Walker. Back to Calvin Phillips. Akanji. Phillips again. Wide to Mahrez. Phillips. Phillips a switch to Aymeric Laporte. Nice ball by Calvin Phillips. His technique is brilliant. We won 4-0. This one, it looks like we won 2-0 in the Carabao Cup and 1-0 in the Premier League. So that is 7-0, says Adjin. Quite right. Adjin, you've been right all along. 7-0 over 3 games. Cancelo skips past Chalobah. Plays in Alvarez. He's going to have a foot race with Koulibaly here, and he beats Koulibaly to it. Alvarez. Back to Palmer. He can't control the football once again. And Gallagher passes it. Rico Lewis, great play. And lucky not to win it back off Chukwuemeka. Good pressing. I tell you what, the young lad Humphreys has looked a better player than Koulibaly. Rico Lewis with a foot in again. Amari Hutchinson. Hall. Humphreys. If I were Chelsea, I'd rather play Humphreys than Koulibaly. Because he's been absolutely dire today. Long ball by Chelsea. Laporte deals with it. And Laporte has picked up an injury here. Hamstring's gone for Aymeric Laporte. That is worrying. Hopefully he's able to carry on, but it looks like the hamstring's gone for Laporte here. Or is it just cramp? Cesar Spilicueta. Back he goes to Chalobah. Gonna hope Laporte's okay, because I think we look so much better with Laporte in the back line. Humphries. Chukwuemeka turns. Ball in behind to Hutchinson. Chansey is going to run at Rico Lewis. Hutchinson. Mahrez and Walker helping out. Gallagher. Looking to switch the play, Conor Gallagher. Kanji's out to him, stepping out from his position. Gallagher again. Again, another turn by Gallagher. Into Chukwuemeka. Hutchinson. Hall. Hutchinson. Hall. Little 1-2 between the two. And Hall gives it straight back to Manchester City. Bad pass to Gallagher. Had to work hard to try and get to it. Cole Palmer. Rico Lewis. Phil Foden. Back to Rico. Back into Phil Foden. And it looks like Laporte's going to be okay. No, he's not. He's limping. Aymeric Laporte here. Let's hope it's not a hamstring injury. He's stretching those hamstrings out, Aymeric Laporte, but it does not look good. 2 minutes of added time here in today's game. Could City find another one? Mahrez is getting man of the match. Rightfully so, I think. The goals he scored. He set the tone of the game, didn't he, with that free kick early on? Cancelo. Away from Chalobah. Koulibaly just hammers it into the stands. I'm so glad City never signed Kalidou Koulibaly. He's absolutely terrible. He looks like he's got no clue today. Absolutely no clue. And it was funny because I remember, I think, when City were looking at Koulibaly, I think it may have been Micah Richards, someone like that, said he didn't want Koulibaly, or he wasn't sure because he said Mangala looked like an absolute colossus in Portugal, and he came to City and was terrible. Koulibaly could be the same, and he looks like he is the same. He's probably about as good as Mangala. Alvarez into Kyle Walker, who lets it run. Mahrez. Ball in behind to Walker, in a foot race here with Hall. Walker sprints past Walker and Humphries. He's got his foot in on Kyle Walker. He's beat Humphries. Walker still going here. Back out to Mahrez. Foden. Oh, it's a ball. It's behind Rico Lewis. Oh, Rico Lewis, well played. Brilliant by Rico Lewis. He's 18 years of age. He looks incredible. Phillips. Cancelo. Foden. Flicks it round the corner to Alvarez. Julian. Still going here. Mahrez. 15 seconds left to play here. Riyad Mahrez. Can City find a fifth? Walker. City go back. I don't think City want a fifth. I think City want the full-time whistle. The referee puts the whistle in his mouth. And he blows that full-time whistle. Manchester City 4, Chelsea 0. City tear Cockneys apart again. City tear Chelsea apart again. Chelsea, not very good. City, the better side. City get the ticket to the fourth round of the FA Cup now, where they will face at home either league leaders Arsenal, might not be league leaders by that time, or Oxford of League 2, I think, which is an interesting sight. It finished 9-0, says Jaden. I was watching the wrong game, was I? 9-0. 7-0 in 3 games. Good commentary, good chat. See you again, Southampton. Thank you very much, everyone. When is the Southampton game, actually? Let's just have a look at that one, because that is when we will be back next. Manchester City against Southampton is on Wednesday, 11th of Jan. Well, unfortunately, guys, I won't be here for the commentary for the 11th of Jan. I'll be back for the derby, the Manchester United derby, on the 14th of Jan. I've got a week away, a little break away next week, so I won't be back for the Southampton game, but I will be back for the Manchester City game against United, the derby. Thank you very much for watching. It's been great to have you all, guys, as usual, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much, everyone.